and is again today a very special start to what for us is an unforgettable day. And as we gather to celebrate St. Patrick's Day 2026, we also look ahead to July the 4th, when this great nation will mark the 250th anniversary of your independence. Just 1 mile from where we sit this morning is Robert Emmet Memorial Park, named in honour of the Irish patriot who led a rebellion against the British in 1803. And in a famous speech from the dock before he was put to death, he declared, "I wish to procure for my country the guarantee which Washington procured for America." The ideals of liberty, democracy and opportunity enshrined in your Declaration of Independence fired the imaginations of Ireland's determined patriots. And our Proclamation of Independence of 1916 references just one other country, yours, when it speaks of support to our cause from Ireland's exiled children in America. And those exiled children, time and time again, have proved both their loyalty to America and their enduring links to their ancestral homeland. Here in the Naval Observatory, it is fitting to recall the contribution of Commodore John Barry. An Irishman from County Wexford, Commodore Barry became the first captain commissioned by Congress. From capturing the first British warship to leading the final naval battle of the Revolution, he earned the title Father of the US Navy. His life embodies that dual loyalty that has defined Irish-American history. Devotion to the ideals of America while continuing to carry Ireland in their hearts. He is far from alone. It was an Irishman, as I was saying earlier, General Stephen Moylan from my home county of Cork, who first penned the term United States of America. It was John Donlan from County Tyrone who printed the first copies of the Declaration of Independence, the founding document that bore the signature of 3 patriots born on our island. And it was Charles Thompson from Derry who created the seal of the United States, forever immortalizing the great symbols of American strength, peace, faith, and unity. And throughout the 250 years since America proudly raised the flag for freedom, Ireland's sons and daughters sought to repay the gift of opportunity through service to their new homeland. Irish workers helped craft the skylines of America's great cities and fortify the fabric of communities across the land. Immigrants from my home county of Cork moved to Ohio, where they built the roads, canals and railways, which literally laid the foundations of American greatness.
You're watching theDove TV, encouraging and informative for Reading and the North State. Seen on KRDT 23, KDRC 26, Channel 16, Channel 29, and these Dove TV affiliates. Good morning. You're tuned to theDove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you. Welcome, all you leprechauns. Nice to see you this morning. Yes, we are here on this St. Paddy's Day. Okay. And you probably wonder where I got this jacket.
Yeah,
and so do I.
It's wonderful. Yeah. You are greener than green.
Went to a yard sale and found Leon Hunsaker's official iconic green blazer.
I thought you won the Masters.
Well, I could have done that too. In my mind.
It's the Masters green jacket. My goodness.
How about that?
I love it. It's really cool. And look at how you blend in with our background.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's a good thing we're not on green screen.
Yeah, well, we can't.
We could. Your head would be floating.
Yeah, there you go. That's a little bit of Ireland background there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, today's when you have boiled potatoes, corned beef.
And cabbage.
Cabbage, yeah.
Yeah, it's the big day.
Big day. And we'll talk about St. Patrick. He was quite the evangelist.
Yeah. Yeah,
in fact, we celebrate all these things, but they have major religious history to them.
In fact, I'm glad you just said, I only have 2 things this morning.
Yeah.
Just 2.
Yeah.
And the first is, naturally, it is St. Patrick's Day.
All right.
And celebrating one of Ireland's most famous figures, St. Patrick. But his story might surprise some, especially in this day and age where we have focus and emphasis on, fighting human trafficking. Well, St. Patrick was trafficked. Patrick wasn't Irish. He was born in Britain in the late 300s.
That's right.
He was kidnapped by Irish raiders as a teenager, forced to work as a shepherd in Ireland. After escaping and returning home, Patrick later chose to go back to Ireland as a missionary, and he helped spread Christianity across the island. And legend says he used a shamrock to explain the Holy Trinity.
Oh.
Yes. And today his legacy is remembered every St. Paddy's Day, a celebration of Irish culture around the world, the only day where just about everybody is some Irish in them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's the three-leaf clover, not the four then, huh?
The three-leaf clover, yeah, the shamrock.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The shamrock.
why do we keep looking for the four?
Because we are superstitious,
Oh,
and
yeah.
people say that a four-leaf clover brings you good luck.
Oh, is that it?
Are we superstitious?
You know
or
what
not?
you don't see here?
What?
A rainbow and a pot of gold.
Oh, that's true. That's right.
There's no rainbow or pot of gold
Yeah.
here. Huh.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Well, with those clouds, stick around. They'll show up.
And of course, it is St. Patrick's Day. And what comes with St. Patrick's Day, other than some parades, including the biggest one in the world in New York City?
New York City.
Coming up Fifth Avenue. I have witnessed it. It is quite a sight to behold, and sometimes it's quite a sight to avoid. If you don't like crowds, baby, don't go to that one, because that one gets thick. But it is also National Corned Beef and Cabbage Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you know that to corn something is simply to preserve it in a salty brine?
Right, yeah.
The term corn refers to the coarse grains of salt used for curing. And corned beef is a salt-cured beef product. And traditional Irish corned beef and cabbage recipes used salt pork or bacon joint instead of corned beef. However, sometime in the mid-1800s, when the Irish immigrated to America, they found Jewish corned beef very similar in texture to the bacon joint pork, and it was much more affordable. They could buy it. So they switched. As a result, they used corned beef as a replacement for the bacon when preparing corned beef and cabbage meals. And St. Paddy's Day in the U.S. Is a very popular meal, corned beef and cabbage, but not in Ireland. It is not Irish fare.
Really?
People in Ireland don't eat corned beef and cabbage. And corned beef and cabbage is a nutritious dish, with corned beef being a good source of protein and cabbage being rich in vitamins and minerals. So, you know, it's health food. Enjoy.
Okay, so what you have to have is some snappy mustard.
Snappy mustard is really good with
You got to have
Yes.
Got to have some snappy mustard. So it's either get boiled potatoes or cabbage, carrots,
Yeah.
corned beef, and snappy mustard.
Yep, and I was shopping for videos for corned beef and cabbage, and in doing it, you get a lot of how-to videos.
Ah.
Yeah, and it's interesting. There are some different approaches to corned beef and cabbage, but it's all good. And of course, I wonder who sells more corned beef in this town than any other establishment.
Well, probably Sherm's.
Sherm, I bet Sherm's. I bet Costco's right in there too, because they have those packages.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about. And then the other one was we don't have it anymore. Was Gary West Meat. They actually marinated their own.
Okay.
And it's gone now, but that was.
I wonder if the butcher shop out in Eagle Point. They have a great butcher shop.
Well, see, we
on
named just about
62.
everybody now.
I know. Do you think it'll work?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, good stuff. All right,
Okay.
5 minutes past the hour. Here's what happens when you boil your potatoes too long.
Here's your Tuesday forecast from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon, including Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, cool and mostly cloudy today with scattered light showers at times, highs in the upper 50s to low 60s and lows in the upper 40s. In the Willamette Valley, Salem, Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, expect plenty of clouds and occasional light rain or drizzle through the day. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s, then a continued chance of showers under mostly cloudy skies tonight and lows in the mid 40s. Partly sunny skies across central Oregon with daytime high temperatures in the low to mid 70s for Prineville and Bend and near 69 in Sun River. Mostly sunny in mid 70s over in Boise, Idaho. A slight chance of rain, then partly sunny along the Oregon coast with highs in the low to mid 60s for Coos Bay, Port Orford, and Brookings. Mostly sunny skies in Crescent City, California with a high near 64. It continues to warm up in southern Oregon with sunny to mostly sunny skies in the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin, with daytime highs in the mid to upper 70s for Grants Pass, Medford, Ashland, and Klamath Falls. Into northern California, sunny with highs in the upper 70s in Wairika, and really warming up from Redding and Chico through Sacramento with highs in the upper 80s to low 90s and lows in the mid 50s. Another sunny and warm day across the Bay Area with heat advisories and daytime highs near 90 in Santa Rosa and Napa, upper 80s in San Francisco, and a high near 93 in San Jose with a light and variable wind. It's your Tuesday forecast from Grange Co-op.
A little bit of a picture of our backyard this morning and warming up for a warm day.
Oh, boy, did you see that? San Jose, 93?
Isn't that something?
Woo!
I can't believe it.
Wow.
Good stuff all the way around.
Happy St. Patty's Day to you. Oh,
Okay,
my goodness.
all you little leprechauns out there.
Well, in the book of Acts, when the apostles were first arrested, it was pretty obvious that they had been with Jesus. Now, Pastor Jack Graham asks you, can people tell that you've been with Jesus?
When the apostles were first arrested, they recognized, the religious leaders recognized, they said, these are unlearned and uneducated men. They couldn't get over it. They hadn't been to the rabbinical schools. They were fishermen and ex-tax collectors and so on. They looked at them and said, these are uneducated, ignorant men. But then it says they realized they had been with Jesus. So for those 3 years, they'd spent time walking with him, talking with him, seeing him. And then after the resurrection, I mean, they had been with Jesus. And when the unbelieving crowd recognized them, they said, you are Christ followers. You've been with Jesus. The way our witness is strong and bold is when we spend time with Jesus. We cannot help but speak of what we've seen and what we've heard. Could it be that so many never speak of Jesus because they haven't seen a lot or heard a lot? If you want to be an effective witness for the gospel, you need to pray and ask God to move in your heart. Spend time with Jesus every day. Grow in your faith, and you will be sharing your faith.
Yeah, that's a great illustration.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, good morning to you. A little bit, with 9 minutes past the hour, let's take a look at some of the top stories out there this morning. And of course, what's going on in Iran continues to headline everything. But boy, I tell you what, Israel's intelligence has been noted as being the best in the world.
Yeah.
Even better than the United States, and yet our CIA is pretty good.
Yeah.
So they've pinpointed 2 more top officials yesterday in the Revolutionary Guard, and they were killed in a special attack.
Wow.
So who's left running what?
Yes. Yeah.
The Iran's top security official and the head of the Revolutionary Guard and the militia were both killed in an overnight strike and a blow to the country's leadership. What's left? Well, look, no sign of Khomeini's son.
Okay. All right.
They did think that he was wounded in the attack that killed his father, but he was leaving the building, but apparently he was wounded, and they're saying probably a leg or something like that.
All
right, so in the meantime, direct communication channels between the United States envoy, Steve Witkoff, and then Iranian's foreign minister apparently are connecting again. Apparently they are talking.
Okay.
Not a whole lot coming out of this, and we don't expect to know a whole lot. You know, what would intelligence be if it's broadcasted?
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, apparently they're talking. I don't know if the word ceasefire is there. I don't know if the word surrender is there. But you have to ask yourself the question, what is left? Drones and missiles, and they're running low on those.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
And so, and of course, the Strait of Hormuz is the big one.
Yeah.
And are we going to have boots on the ground? Well, 2,500 are on their way.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's going on with that. But they are talking, so I don't know what this means. I don't think at this point you can create a ceasefire.
Okay.
I think it has to be a surrender.
Okay. Yep. All right.
It can't be a ceasefire. A ceasefire for the last 47 years is a reload.
Okay. All right.
And it's proven to be that.
Okay.
Iran is liars. I mean, there's not one thing they tell you they're going to do to you, that they'll work with you, that they do. But they do admit, one thing you need to do is understand, they do tell you in advance what they're going to do when it comes to killing people.
That's a good point, yeah.
So anyway, we'll see where this goes.
Question.
Yeah.
Okay. They say that they are down to, they've eliminated 90% of the rockets, the surface-to-air missiles, yeah. And they've reduced the drone attacks by 95%.
Right.
So you got 5% left of drone, you got 10% left of the rockets, and yet that's enough to keep the Strait of Hormuz closed. What will it take to reopen?
Okay, so think about this. If they had the intelligence to get 2 of these people at night,
right? Yeah,
they know where the 5% is.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay, I think that's the game now.
Okay,
if I can use the term, probably the aim, not the
aim. Okay,
the aim now is probably that 5%. The intelligence between the United States and Israel, they know where those 5% remain, and it may take troops on the ground to rout them out. I don't know, but. I don't know. Okay. In the meantime, the president's trying to put together a coalition of allies to create, support and escorting of ships through the Strait of Hormuz. What's interesting about that is ship owners are still a little skeptical.
Oh.
I can't help but think I would be too.
I would too, yeah.
You lose one ship, and how much have you lost?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So anyway, but the president is zeroing on, and this is going to be interesting to me. The president is now after the Prime Minister of Britain. Basically saying, you guys, how can I say so it comes out right? He's very disappointed that the Prime Minister of Britain won't do anything to help the United States.
Right.
The president says that he feels vindicated in his years of questioning the fidelity of America's Western alliances, and especially that of Britain. I would say under Prime Minister Sardinia, we have gone backwards. And what's happened here is he's saying, well, I don't want to get involved in the war that will be endless.
Right.
It's 98% completed, and you still won't get involved.
Right.
Now, I can't help but think that Britain is going to see a major shakeup in their country.
Yeah.
And I also believe that this current prime minister is under immense pressure from the Islamic residents in their country that they've allowed coexistence of Sharia law and pockets of all this stuff.
Yes.
He doesn't know what to do.
Yes.
And he doesn't have the fortitude, if I can use that word. There's other words.
Yeah.
To stand up and fight it.
You're right on the money. Okay. Absolutely.
So here's what the president had to say.
Okay.
Why are we protecting countries that don't protect us? And I've always felt that was a weakness of NATO. We were going to protect them, but I always said when in need, they won't protect us. Now, this isn't need. Need would be one of the big boys. But I will say that we built the greatest military in the world, and we protect people. And if we need their mine boats, or if we need anything, any piece of apparatus that they may have because of a situation that they have, they should be jumping to help us, because we've helped them for years stay out of wars.
And they haven't moved an inch.
Not a thing.
Look, with all due respect to previous presidents, this one has pointed out a problem that we've always been there. We supplied them with endless money and supplies and armament, and we asked for a little help, and the answer is a cold, dead phone.
Right. Yeah.
I thought, whoa! I never looked at it like that
I didn't
before.
either.
Well, anyway, I don't know where this is going to go. I think he's making a very strong point, and it needs to be respected. But because it's him saying it, it gets criticized all over the world.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the Democrats back home have remained to keep the government shut down when it comes to DHS. But they said, oh, well, now we want to call for an end of the DHS shutdown, but we still won't fund ICE. Okay, so it appears to me, who did I have on? Oh, I had, I'll think of his name yesterday on. He works with Peter Schweitzer. I had him on the show yesterday. A fascinating guy. We were talking back and forth about this. And I asked him the question, I said, do you think that the Democrats have succeeded in demonizing ICE?
No.
And he says, yes, to the media, but not to all the people.
Oh, okay.
Now,
right.
keep in mind that our own state legislature within this last short session passed a bill that if ICE is in the neighborhood of a school, that the school has to notify the parents and the students that ICE is in the neighborhood.
Right, right.
So in the meantime, the Democrats have shut DHS down. You go right here to the airport. Those TSA people aren't being paid.
Mm-hmm.
It's well into a month now that they haven't been paid, okay?
Wow, yeah.
Things are wearing thin. We're in the middle of a war.
Right.
And we got security that's not being paid.
Yeah.
This isn't going well. Most people see this for what it is. It's just Democrats doing their crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think it flies well. But now they want to fund DHS without funding ICE. This will be a real test for the Republicans. I don't think they can do. I don't think they can separate that out.
Yeah.
And then last but certainly not least, Chuck Schumer yesterday. Did you catch this whole thing about the SAFE Act?
I didn't. Not yesterday's edition. I've seen a number of others from him. What did he say yesterday?
Chucky's an interesting guy.
Oh yes, beyond.
Senator Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer, called the Safe America Act, quote, one of the most despicable pieces of legislation that he has seen ahead of the bill being brought up on the floor for a vote this week.
Wow.
Now, the SAFE Act is requiring people voter ID. And somehow he's calling it despicable because he thinks somehow the president's using this as a shield to rig the election.
Right.
Tell me, how do you rig election by identifying a voter?
This is just absolutely absurd. We have seen both political parties say that we have had questionable elections. Both of them have said it. Democrats said that Trump and the Russians colluded to influence an election. Trump has said he got ripped off in an election. So both sides are claiming damage through, fraudulent elections. So when it comes to the rubber meeting the road, let's do something to fix this. One side continues to say, yeah, let's do that, and the other says, no, that's despicable. What does that tell you about the claims of fraudulent elections made by both parties?
Yeah, they're there, and
well, the Democrats are right. Democrats are wrong. Republicans are right, because when it comes time to do something about it,
they don't.
It's despicable.
So let me ask you this, but we also have a problem with about 4 Republican senators that don't want to go with this.
What's up with that?
Okay, so what is up with
Yeah, I don't know.
And one of them is from a border state. And Senator John Cornyn from Texas, he said, yeah, he's going to do whatever it takes, and at the last minute he bails on it. I don't know if this is going to cost him the election. Paxton, who's the Attorney General of Texas, running against him, said that he would withdraw from the race if he would go ahead and support this.
Really?
Yeah. And
I didn't know that.
So what is it that a U.S. senator from a border state wouldn't want voter ID?
I don't know.
Who's paying who what?
I was going to say, yeah, there's something shady here.
It doesn't pass the smell
Not
test.
at all.
Yeah. Top stories of the day. There we go. As we're looking for boiled potatoes, we're looking for cabbage, and hot mustard.
And don't forget the corned beef.
Yeah. Now, I have to say this, though, one thing about this is the one time that you could have spicy mustard.
Okay.
But just good old French's mustard, plain mustard.
Right.
It's pretty good.
Mustard in all forms is all good, yes. Okay. Absolutely.
I'm wearing the late Leon Hunsaker's green blazer this morning that literally was found in a garage sale.
Literally. Oh, that's good.
My grandson was out driving around, saw this in a garage sale, paid $5 for it, and dared me to wear it this morning.
You wear it well, just like a Masters champion.
We'll be right back.
What a deal.
I need the Masters.
Yeah, you do, man. Okay, yes.
Right
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why at Kelly's, it's automotive service with a heart for God, and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond, but that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
From the heart of our nation's capital, here's Family Research Council President Tony Perkins.
The House committee uncovered through the whistleblower that the FBI abused its counterterrorism tools to target Catholic Americans. Do we need to reevaluate what tools they have legal access to?
Yes, absolutely we do.
Washington Watch, 6 o'clock weekdays on the Dove TV.
All right, 23 minutes now past the hour. Welcome back on this St. Patrick's Day as we are broadcasting live from somewhere in Ireland, right?
It looks like it, yeah.
We just don't know where.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Anyway, good morning to you. It's true. This blazer was given to me about 20 minutes ago, half hour ago, to wear.
It's great.
And
you got to keep it, man.
He paid $5 for it in a garage sale. Right? Is that what you paid for? $5 in a garage sale? Yeah. But I have to tell you, seriously, the late Leon Hunsaker, when he worked at Channel 10 for all those years, he had a green blazer just like this. And he hung it in his office, and he would put it on, and he had literally a clipboard with a wooden pointer.
Oh, really?
And that's how he did the weather.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
So what was it about the green jacket?
I don't know.
Huh?
I know. It became somewhat iconic.
Yeah, I guess so.
I never did. When I went to his memorial, I should have opened up the casket to see if he was wearing it.
I know. I think it went to a yard sale, and you got it.
No, All right, good morning to you. Some backyard news. As you know, a rogue judge said to the ICE that they couldn't use any kind of crowd control to protect their own building. So the Trump administration is appealing that and to see if they can get back to using tear gas and other chemicals to protect. Think about this. ICE in the state of Oregon cannot use measures to protect their own building for crowd control.
Right.
So that means go ahead and burn it down and graffiti it up and all that stuff, and they can't do a thing about it.
Right.
How crazy is this?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
All right, so anyway, that's being appealed.
Oh, good.
All right, now, I'm bringing this story to you. I don't know if Logan has this. Scott's not here today. I don't know if you have it, Logan, but we have a picture of the price of gas on a pump.
The current? Oh, the tax.
The tax.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Okay, I know you may not have it there, but anyway. This story caught my eye, and I'm not going to read you the whole story. I'm just going to give you the headlines.
Okay.
This shows you how headlines can be deceiving.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
With gas prices rising, Oregon drivers are paying some of the highest prices in the country.
Okay.
Why? We have the highest gas tax in the country.
Exactly.
40 cents, and they want to add another 6 cents to it.
Of course, yeah.
And so this headline is telling you that Trump is making your gas prices in Oregon the highest in the state, when 40 cents of it is your own state putting their hands in your pocket and wanting 6 cents a gallon more.
All you got to do is look at the prices on the left coast, and that says it all. Compare it against the center of the country, especially the South. I mean, it's ridiculous.
So I think actually the highest is California, then us, and Washington.
The left coast.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
oofda. Oh, man.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yeah, that is.
All right, take a look at the satellite image. Here's what's going on here. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
It's leaving us high and dry.
It really is. And you know what? We've kind of had this pattern most of the winter. There have been a lot of systems that have been moved through, but that jet stream takes them up and around and then back through. By the way, did you see what's going on in Michigan yesterday and overnight?
Yeah, that
is a blizzard. I mean, a full-fledged blizzard.
Yeah, they say it's the second most dangerous storm in history or something like that.
Absolutely. Are you ready for 78 today? 79 tomorrow, 78 Thursday, 77, and then the weekend drops. We're going back down into the 60s, low 60s. So, well, this is interesting. I've been watching this. This former Utah State volleyball player, Kaylee Ray, has had a heated clash with a Democrat state senator over her calls to remove men from women's sports.
As those women did before me, I stand before you today to plead for all of the girls and women in sport now and those to come. It is not fair, it is not safe, it is not right to rob us of the opportunities that sport provides by allowing biological males access to our spaces in sports. Reality matters, biology matters, and women matter. I urge your support for this bill, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
I mean, I have my sports hat on now. It's all about a sports mentality, growing up in sports, being a tomboy. I mean, you look pretty healthy. I've played against girls that look like you. You look very much in shape and strong. But it's a sports mentality when you're growing up, and how much competition that you'll take on. So it's not just a silver bullet for one community of sports players. It's the individual person on how competitive you want to be. So you grew up one way, I grew up a different way. I would have taken on a man in a heartbeat. I played in, I was the only girl sometimes in men's sports. But to have a man on my team, I would have welcomed it. But this is just my opinion. So it just depends on the sports mentality of that individual. And that's why this bill is bad, because you're just putting a whole community of women's sports in one category, when women like me, we have a different opinion. So how competitive do you think you really are?
As elite level athletes, I would say we're very competitive, which is why this bill designates 3 categories: male, female, and co-ed. The idea is that everyone can participate in sport. If you want to compete against your man, absolutely. Like, let's do that in the co-ed section. That's the clarity and distinction is really important, because when men are allowed access into women's sports and spaces, it's not women's sports and spaces anymore. And as the passage of Title IX was so important, there is a need, a necessity to protect women's spaces. It's not to say that people are banned from sports. That's not the situation at all. If that's the level of competition you want to have for yourself, amazing, go try it in the co-ed section. But again, this is about protecting the women's category.
Wow, wow, wow. That state senator, I can't believe it, says, how competitive do you want to be? Meaning, if you really want to be competitive, you'd be willing to compete against men. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, it just shows you how sick we are.
Yes.
I think the young gal makes a great case.
Yes, she does.
But can I make a statement here? I don't mean this to be controversial.
Okay.
To me, it's never about sports.
What is it about?
It's about men in girls' locker rooms.
Well, that has something to do with it, doesn't it? Yeah.
I think that's the whole thing.
Oh.
You have naked men running around with girls in the locker room.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. They're using that. You're using sports as the excuse to do that.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's take it one step further.
Yeah.
It's still wrong if they put them in a different locker room, but they let them go out on the floor and
that
compete.
too.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that.
Yeah. No.
This
The whole thing is wrong.
This
Yes.
is a violation of privacy.
Yes.
And so, in addition, well, not to mention, she does it very well. Girls sports, boys sports, and co-ed.
And co-ed, yes.
Okay.
Well, and And we're going to hear from Kaylee Ray in the next hour. She's going to talk about some of the comments that state senator made. So we're going to get a little follow-up on it.
Yeah, this is just, look, I think, Christians, people of faith, you don't have to be ugly about this. You just have to be firm. This is a slap in God's face that we're trying to mix this together as if it's no big deal. It is a big deal. And at the end of the day, it's more about boys prodding around naked in a girl's locker room. It's more about that than actually getting out there and playing the game. And when are we going to say no to this?
They both need to be said no to.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not going to fix it if they send them into a different locker room.
No, it's not.
No.
But they haven't done that.
I know. No.
So if they're going to cut the pie and go that way, it's still wrong. But right now,
it's all wrong.
But right now, it's this, and I'm going, holy cow! When in the world are we just going to stand up and say no? And the sad part about it is that parents that have a conviction pull their kids out of sports, and they're now denied scholarships and everything else.
That's a great point. Absolutely true.
And the parents become the bad people.
Right. Oh, of course. And the students become bad. They're demonized. Absolutely. Look what happened to Riley Gaines in San Francisco. They trapped her in a side room. She was fearful of her life and her safety. So, I mean, it's unbelievable where we've come.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Okay, but we forgot something.
Corned beef and cabbage, and it was brought up. We missed the horseradish. We did. But we're not for long. We're going to add it.
Yeah.
You got to have
Do you
some.
like horseradish cream or do you like raw horseradish?
Oh, I've always pretty much had horseradish cream.
Yeah.
Tell me about
Well, that's when they mix it with sour cream or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Right. There's a base. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's all good.
You need the horseradish that when you open the jar, it cleans your nostrils out. That's before you put it on anything.
Okay.
You can start your mower with it. We'll be right back.
You feel most alive where you feel most at home. And this is living. Bobcat, the company that changed the way the world works, is coming home with a quality compact tractor built to match your quality of life. This isn't work you have to do. It's work you get to do. So get it done in a tractor that's all you. See your dealer or visit bobcat.com.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
All right, welcome back. Well, as we had one of the headlines earlier this morning, Israel's intelligence located what they think are the 2 remaining top military officials, Iranian officials in Iran last night, and they bombed where they were and took them out.
You know what? If we were the last 2 guys in Iranian leadership ready to go right now, I would say, I nominate you to be the head of our government.
Okay, I just resigned.
You're the top dog now.
Okay, so if I'm number one and I'm number two, you're number two?
Well, you could be number 1 and 2.
No, I'm going to be one, you're going to be two, and I just resigned.
Oh, man, I'm ducking.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't know. We don't understand the mindset.
No.
So, but anyway, let's check in with our good friend Chris Mitchell at CBN News and get the latest from Israel.
As the war with Iran enters its third week, the price of oil and gas and its impact on the global economy is a key concern. And President Trump is seeking an international coalition to help protect shipping in the strategic Strait of Hormuz. And at the same time, the U.S. is threatening to take out a major oil facility that would cripple what's left of Iran's economy. Here's the latest. President Trump told reporters on Air Force One he's demanding some oil-dependent countries come and help police the Strait of Hormuz.
Because it is their territory. It's a place from which they get their energy. And they should come and they should help us protect it. You could make the case that maybe we shouldn't even be there at all because we don't need it. We have a lot of oil.
On Friday, the U.S. attacked the military installations, not the oil facilities, on Karg Island, Iran's main facility to export oil and its economic lifeline.
And we left just one little area standing at the standing corners where they have the pipes, the oil pipes come in. And we can do that on 5 minutes notice. We have it all locked and loaded and ready to go. We want to do it. We chose not to do it.
All this in response to Iran's actions to close the Strait of Hormuz, cut off oil shipments, and create a global economic crisis. But U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright sees this as a short-term disruption.
Americans are feeling it right now. Americans will feel it for a few more weeks. But at the end, we will have removed the greatest risk to global energy supplies.
But one thing is for sure, this blackmail that they're doing with the oil just shows how terrible it would have been if they had nukes. They would blackmail the world with nuclear weapons, and there would be nothing we could do about it.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's foreign policy advisor, Dr. Ophir Falk, told CBN News the war is ahead of schedule, but the campaign will continue. Falk says there's a plan going forward.
Well, I can't speculate. I can't get into details exactly what our operational plans are, but I can tell you that we have a set plan with a lot of surprises coming up. At the end of the day, we got to remove the existential threat posed by this Ayatollah regime. They've been calling death to America, death to Israel for 47 years.
Fox says the conditions are being set for the Iranian people to take the future in their hands.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We've been decimating this Ayatollah regime, its capabilities. It's a death cult that's been terrorizing the world and its people for decades. They slaughtered civilians, Iranian civilians on the streets just a few weeks ago. Thousands of them, maybe tens of thousands of them. And at the end of the day, it's up to the Iranian people to do the right thing. And I think they will do the right thing.
The IDF is also sending more ground forces into Lebanon to target Hezbollah forces and create more security for residents in northern Israel. The U.S. and Israel are also fighting back against propaganda fueled by artificial intelligence. President Trump slammed several media organizations for publishing AI-generated videos of Iranian boats attacking shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. And Prime Minister Netanyahu's office published this video showing the Prime Minister getting a cup of coffee, refuting an online AI video claiming he's been assassinated. Well, here we are on day 17, major developments throughout these 17 days, and a lot of developments today, Julie.
That's for sure. Let's go to CBN Middle East correspondent Paul Petit, live at the Jaffa Gate in Jerusalem's Old City. What's the latest, Paul?
Well, hey, guys, I want to give you a quick look at this iconic view right now. And it's not a pretty one. We're seeing an empty old city because of the war that's going on. Very few people coming in and out. That is not a visitor here. Most people in black, signifying that, they live here and are pretty much going home right now. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes. But I want to touch on a little bit about what Chris talked about at the end of his story, and that's all this AI stuff, right? You notice that Netanyahu put up his hand like this. in that video. He did it on purpose because he was showing that he had 5 fingers. Now, how did this all take about? Well, this video here where they're circling his hand, this was an outlet that was actually showing that he had 6 fingers when he gave his last address. And they were basically trying to say that, okay, they made up this video that Netanyahu was in fact assassinated, and that this is an AI-generated video from Israel to show that he's in fact still alive. This is the kind of stuff that people are up against here, the AI running amok. There he is showing on the other hand, yes, he has 6 fingers. So when Netanyahu was getting that cup of coffee there, he was proving that he had 5 fingers and not 6. Now, there's other AI-generated video as well going around across the country, particularly through social media. And this is Israel getting blown up by Iran. We know this is fake, but there's video after video showing different parts of Israel getting decimated, entire buildings coming down, and it's happening all over social media. Now, more and more people, here's the sad part, are using social media as a news outlet. So it's always a slippery slope. And here's one where they're showing just decimating someplace in central Israel.
Well, look, this is amazing. I think it underscores something you and I have talked about. If you're on social media getting your news,
right,
and you're not double checking it against major news outlets,
oh yes,
you're being propagandized.
So how many fingers do I have?
42.
Wait a minute.
Well, that just shows you. But look how real he looked.
Yeah, and look at the destruction that they said was going on in Tel Aviv. Buildings coming in. It looks real.
Yeah.
And it's all fake.
You have to. When I see something on social media, I immediately go over to the other channels. And you know what? I'm fair about it. I even go to the liberal ones.
Absolutely.
So if the liberal ones aren't covering it, then you know it's fake.
Know, especially if it's a cataclysmic event. You're like, wait a minute. How did we miss this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So our avoidance to fake news is we get the real thing. It's right here.
Here's your Tuesday forecast from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon, including Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, cool and mostly cloudy today with scattered light showers at times, highs in the upper 50s to low 60s and lows in the upper 40s. In the Willamette Valley, Salem, Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, expect plenty of clouds and occasional light rain or drizzle through the day. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s, then a continued chance of showers under mostly cloudy skies tonight and lows in the mid 40s. Partly sunny skies across central Oregon with daytime high temperatures in the low to mid 70s for Prineville and Bend and near 69 in Sun River. Mostly sunny in mid 70s over in Boise, Idaho. A slight chance of rain, then partly sunny along the Oregon coast with highs in the low to mid 60s for Coos Bay, Port Orford, and Brookings. Mostly sunny skies in Crescent City, California with a high near 64. It continues to warm up in southern Oregon with sunny to mostly sunny skies in the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin with daytime highs in the mid to upper 70s for Grants Pass, Medford, Ashland, and Klamath Falls. Into northern California, sunny with highs in the upper 70s in Wairika, and really warming up from Redding and Chico through Sacramento with highs in the upper 80s to low 90s and lows in the mid 50s. Another sunny and warm day across the Bay Area with heat advisories and daytime highs near 90 in Santa Rosa and Napa, upper 80s in San Francisco, and a high near 93 in San Jose with a light and variable wind. It's your Tuesday forecast from Grange Co-op.
Beautiful shot of our own Mount Ashland, which just got a little bit of snow down there on the left side of the picture. But a beautiful sunrise this morning. So good stuff all the way around.
Well, we know that through the years, especially through the course of the space race, there have been a lot of things that have been lobbed up into space. A lot of things floating around up there.
Yeah.
Well, the longest surviving man-made object in space was actually launched on this day in history. On March 17, 1958, during the early days of the space race, the United States launched a satellite that's still circling Earth today. From the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory, the tiny satellite Vanguard 1 was sent into orbit. The aluminum sphere was only about the size of a cantaloupe, though Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev jokingly called it a grapefruit. Despite its small size, Vanguard 1 made big history. It became the first satellite powered by solar cells, a technology that would later power countless spacecraft. The satellite transmitted data for several years before its radio fell silent in 1964, but the spacecraft itself never came down. Today, 68 years later, Vanguard 1 is still orbiting Earth, making it the oldest human-made object in space. A tiny satellite from 1958, still quietly circling our planet as a reminder of the dawn of the space race.
How about that? Wow.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
The cantaloupe.
All right, the cantaloupe. All right, 14 minutes before the hour. Well, from the American Veterans Center, World War II vet has this to say about how blessed we are.
We are a very blessed country, and this is what I wish and hope and pray whoever sees this realizes how blessed we are. The 8th Air Force, we lost a little bit over 26,000 guys, 19 to 28. Think about this. They gave their lives. They never became husbands or dads. And they never came home. And I tell these young people, when you go home tonight, you say a prayer of thanks to God for those men that fought for you and gave their lives. And now that's what I'm proud of, that I was able to do something for my country.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, the only thing I can think of is that as we head into this birthday of America, that we hear more about the price that's been paid for our freedom.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I truly do. We're putting up this new replica of the Vietnam Memorial here in Medford.
Yeah.
It's an exact replica.
Mm-hmm.
The name started going up on the wall the other day. This is a slow thing.
Okay.
But all you got to do is walk past that. That wall when it's done. I remember visiting the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. about 4:30 in the morning when the sun was coming up.
Oh.
I couldn't sleep, and I got up and I walked the mall, and I couldn't find it. You can't, if you don't know where it is, you can't see it because it goes down, it doesn't go up.
Yep,
and so anyway, I walked down there, and I knew about 4 guys from high school, and I looked their names up, and sure enough, there's their wall.
You know, I didn't know you went there at that time of the day. You're pretty brave walking around D.C. in dark 30.
Well, hey, I was stupid.
No, you're idealistic.
When you're used to getting up, you get up, and so I couldn't sleep, and it was kind of, the sun was just kind of starting to glow a little bit, and I thought, well, I'll go walk the mall, and I thought, well, I wanted to see the Vietnam Wall, and it took me a while, and then all of a sudden, I came upon it by accident.
Yeah.
Then you walk down this thing. Well, the one they're putting up here in Medford is just like it.
Is that right?
Yeah,
wow.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
So we'll keep it posted.
Awesome.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Breakfast served daily until 2 p.m. Breakfast burritos, biscuits and gravy, skillets, omelets, and more. Sweet Tea Express. Don't get caught hungry.
The John Ankerberg Show offers real answers to tough questions. Does God exist? Why is there suffering in this world? Is there evidence Jesus truly rose from the dead? What is the best explanation for the origin of the universe? For 40 years, Dr. John Ankerberg has hosted discussions on these and other topics with top Christian experts. Discover the information you need to better understand your faith and share it with others.
Watch The John Ankerberg Show weekdays at 4 on the Dove TV.
Welcome back on this St. Patrick's Day, 9 minutes before the top of the hour. This is kind of interesting. The Scottish Parliament recently opened with the time of reflection before starting their normal business. And the Reverend Alistair MacLeod spoke boldly about the influence of Jesus Christ.
Good afternoon. The first item of business is time for reflection. Our time for reflection leader today is the Reverend Alistair MacLeod, Moderator, Free Church of Scotland.
Thank you. Presiding Officer, members, guests. In a recently published book entitled "What Has Christianity Ever Done for Scotland?", the author reminds modern secular Scotland that our education and legal systems, healthcare, human rights and the arts were shaped by those who had a living connection to Jesus Christ. For instance, James Young Simpson, the pioneer of anaesthesia, was asked by a reporter in his day, "What was your greatest discovery?" Likely expecting an answer that went along the lines of his life's work, he instead replied that there is a saviour. What is it about Jesus Christ that draws the deepest devotion? There is no questioning his unique impact. Over 2 billion people today, from remote rural tribal groups to the most sophisticated nations on earth, claim a live connection to him. From today's world of elite sport to historical figures like Napoleon, who contrasted the empires of Alexander the Great, Caesar and Charlemagne. On what did we rest the genius of our creations, he asked? Upon sheer force. Jesus Christ alone founded his empire upon love, and at this hour, millions of men will die for him. Like the prophet who reminded the people of his day, you have planted much, but harvested little. You eat, but never have enough. You drink, but never have your fill. You earn wages, but they don't last. No wonder these words were bookended by, give careful thought to your ways. I love my country, with all its quirks. And what made Scotland a beacon of democracy, human dignity, invention, artistic genius, can once again make us thrive with kindness and hope when we hear the words of Jesus, and like the wise man who built his house in a rock, put them into practice. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend.
My goodness.
So they have times of reflection. Sometimes we have, invocations. But that is pretty stunning.
That it really is.
Yeah. Good stuff all the way around. All right, stick around. We got some good guests coming up. John V will be back with us, and Michael Bustler will be talking about his view of the economy.
Okay.
I got to get a bigger green jacket. This is choking me to death. What do you expect for $5 in a garage sale?
That's good. Hey, I got to ask you, have you ever found a message in a bottle? Have you ever put a message in a bottle?
No, but I'm looking for one.
You're looking for one, yeah? It was like that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Yeah. We're waiting for that, too. All right. Well, a simple message in a bottle has turned into a friendship that's lasted more than 25 years.
Back in 2001, Diane Charles was walking along a beach in Stanley, Tasmania, when she spotted a barnacle-covered bottle rolling in with the waves. Inside was a handwritten note in Spanish. With help from friends and eventually a translator, she discovered the message was from Erica Boyero, a bartender from Colombia who had tossed several bottles into the ocean back in 1997 while working on a cruise ship near Norway. Charles sent a fax to the address on the note, and incredibly, it reached Boyero. What started as a mysterious message soon became a long-distance friendship. Over the next 2 decades, the two women stayed in touch through life's milestones, even as Boyero later moved to Germany. And recently, they finally met in person in Tasmania, embracing like longtime friends and walking together along the very beach where that bottle washed ashore. Proof that sometimes a message carried by the ocean can connect people half a world apart.
That is fantastic.
Isn't that amazing? And what a journey that bottle took. It was off the coast of Norway and it ends up in Tasmania.
Some whale didn't swallow it.
Yeah.
All right,
Wow.
good stuff. Psalm 32, verse 8 is a good scripture for you to consider today. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will guide you with my eye. That's a promise for you today. So if you're kind of wandering around out there, what should I do? Well, if you stay close to him, he will direct your path. He'll teach you, and he'll lead you. So in the meantime, Jerry's going to go do a little tap dancing over in the corner here with his flute.
Yeah, watch me tap dance. Oh, yeah.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Finding that next great series to binge watch is fun, but your neck, shoulders, and body don't count that as me time. Hi, I'm Tamara Miller, owner of Organic Element Spa, and I invite you to put down the remote, get off the couch, and schedule yourself some real me or we time with your favorite service, like one of our many massages, couples massages, or facials. Your health, safety, and comfort are always top priority with us at Organic Element Spa. We can't wait to see you. Book your appointment today.
There may have never been another time in history when end times prophecy has been more aligned with the culture and circumstances of the world than it is today. I believe there are 10 phenomena we are witnessing today that were recorded centuries ago in Bible prophecy.
Join Dr. David Jeremiah in his series, Where Do We Go From Here? On the next episode of Turning Point, right here on this station.
Weekends on the Dove TV.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
We're talking here about the procedure of faith. After Elijah had done what God already told him to do, then the word of the Lord came to him. And that is the way the procedure of faith always works. It's the procedure of step-by-step obedience before the Lord. We obey one command, and then he gives us another. We take one step, and then he leads us to the next step. And that's very uncomfortable for me and for all of you too. Can I get a witness? We want to know the whole story. We want to see where it ends up. We want to know what problems we're going to face between A and Z. But God doesn't work that way. He leads us one step at a time.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
Gordon Robertson and Terry Mewson bring you the 700 Club. Watch weekday mornings at 11 on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove. Encouraging and informative. Helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you, all you leprechauns out there. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. We're somewhere broadcasting live from Ireland. Kind of, sort of. Isn't that a beautiful scene out there?
Yeah, we're in Ireland.
Yes.
Yeah, and then so are you.
Well, I showed up this morning I put on this green shirt, and I knew it was, St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was met with this this jacket.
Yeah.
I was dared to wear it.
It's fabulous.
It's a green blazer.
Yeah.
That literally was found in a garage sale over the weekend.
Yeah.
And my grandson paid $5 for it and dared me to wear it this morning.
I think there's a Masters tournament patch that.
Yeah, it should have the Masters tournament.
Yeah, I think the winner from
04.
04. But it looks great, man.
Well, anyways, I have to say, this does remind me of the late Leon Hunsaker, our good friend, the weatherman.
Yeah.
He wore a green blazer just like this.
So that was his trademark.
That was kind of his trademark, and he had a clipboard. I mean, a literally hard, old-fashioned clipboard with the thing at the top.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And he wore his green blazer, and he had a wooden pointer.
No way.
And he'd come out
I love it.
on Channel 10, and he'd do the weather, and he'd point things, and ha, 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 but you never questioned him.
Well, let me ask you this, because Leon was on Channel 10, but he was also on a bunch of radio stations, because I used to hear him before I even lived here when I was living up in Northern Oregon.
Well, he would, during the day, he had the Jetstream Weather Service, and he had a radio network that he would broadcast his weather on. Very, and we became friends.
Okay, yeah.
And then he had enough of the other guys. He hung it up. And he did weather for us for years.
Yeah.
And we miss him terribly. He was just a character. But I learned something about Leon. You never questioned him about his accuracy.
Oh, no kidding.
There was a side that he was very defensive of. But Steve and I, we'd go to his house once in a while and, check on him and things like that. And we walked into his house. He had like a mountain cabin over Hugo.
Oh, yeah, yes, right.
Beautiful downtown Hugo. Population 3.
Yes, yeah.
And he and Margaret
were two of them, right? Yeah.
And you walk into this is no joke. You walk into his house, and upstairs where he had his room, even the ceiling was plastered with Jetstream weather maps.
No kidding.
The walls, and they went up the ceiling like this, and he had like an A-frame house. They were all across the ceiling like this, and the Jetstream weather maps.
They make movies about guys like this called Beautiful Mind, remember?
Yeah. So the room right next door to his was Margaret's quilting room.
Okay.
And she hung quilts all up in their room. They had like a A-frame, kind of like a mountain log cabin thing, But the whole upstairs was full of these. And I said, Lynn, what's the deal? And he said, well, that's how I came up with Jetstream weather. And he would track the patterns of Jetstream. And he called it the English connection.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The English connection was what's happening in England 8 days later would happen over the top of Oregon in some form.
Be affected by it.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you said he was pretty defensive about his forecasting. So did you ever call him and it sounded something like this, ring, ring. Hey, Leon, you called for partly cloudy skies today, and I just shoveled 3 inches of partly cloudy off my driveway.
Well, it wasn't quite that bad, but I remember one time, I can't even remember what I said. And it certainly wasn't intentional, but I made fun of his forecast.
Okay.
I'm going to throw a joke
Oh,
out.
why not? Yeah.
And he took it offensively.
No kidding.
And he said, I'll talk to you later. Click.
I'm going to adopt the Leon attitude from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how
but
far
he had this blazer, and anyway, I was tempted when I went to his memorial to open up the casket to see if he had it on.
Yeah. No, I think it went to a garage sale, and you may have it on.
That could be it.
I
think Leon was a little bit more stout than I was.
He was a big guy.
He was a big guy.
Yeah. Yep.
So much for all that nonsense. What do you got?
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patty's.
It is St. Patrick's Day, of course, celebrating one of Ireland's most famous figures, St. Patrick himself. But his story might surprise you, and especially in this day and age, we talk a lot about human trafficking. He was trafficked. Patrick wasn't actually Irish. He was born in Britain in the late 300s, was kidnapped by Irish raiders as a teenager, and forced to work as a shepherd in Ireland. But after escaping and returning home, Patrick later chose to go back to Ireland as a missionary, helping spread Christianity across the island. And legend says he used a shamrock to explain the Holy Trinity. So today his legacy is remembered, and a celebration of Irish culture takes place around the world.
And the other thing we found out that Irish does not celebrate with cabbage and corned beef.
Well, we're talking about National Corned Beef and Cabbage Day. Of course, it goes right along with St. Patty's Day. And of course, to corn something is simply to preserve it in a salty brine. And the term corn refers to coarse grains of salt used for curing. Do we have any corned beef and cabbage there, guys? There it is. All right. It is a salt-cured beef product. Traditional Irish corned beef and cabbage recipes used salt pork or bacon joint instead of corned beef, but sometime in the mid-1800s, when the Irish immigrated to America, they found Jewish corned beef very similar in texture to the bacon joint, and it was much more affordable. So that's why they went to corned beef. As a result, they used corned beef as a replacement for the bacon when preparing corned beef and cabbage meals. And just like you said, St. Patrick's Day meal in the United States, corned beef and cabbage, but it is not popular in Ireland. How about that? It's not standard fare in Ireland. And of course, corned beef and cabbage is a nutritious dish, corned beef being a good source of protein, and cabbage being rich in vitamins and minerals. How about the spuds?
Well, you got to have the boiled potatoes.
And there's some carrots in there in some of them, you know, so add what you like, but it's fabulous.
All right, so two little things you need with it. Mustard and horseradish.
Horseradish works, yep.
Yeah.
In fact, what does...
And don't get the girly horseradish.
The girly horseradish? Oh, no. And that is, which one is the girly one?
What?
Oh, my gosh.
Mixed with sour cream. So they water
so it's
it down.
cut down. Oh, yeah,
Get the one when you open up the jar, it just cleans you out right there. Okay.
They use it as smelling salts if you pass out.
Yeah, get that one.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in trouble for that.
That's all we got.
Okay. Well, here's a guy that opened up the jar and took a whiff.
Here's your Tuesday forecast from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon, including Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, cool and mostly cloudy today with scattered light showers at times, highs in the upper 50s to low 60s and lows in the upper 40s. In the Willamette Valley, Salem, Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, expect plenty of clouds and occasional light rain or drizzle through the day. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s, then a continued chance of showers under mostly cloudy skies tonight and lows in the mid 40s. Partly sunny skies across central Oregon with daytime high temperatures in the low to mid 70s for Prineville and Bend and near 69 in Sun River. Mostly sunny and mid 70s over in Boise, Idaho. A slight chance of rain, then partly sunny along the Oregon coast with highs in the low to mid 60s for Coos Bay, Port Orford, and Brookings. Mostly sunny skies in Crescent City, California with a high near 64. It continues to warm up in southern Oregon with sunny to mostly sunny skies in the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin with daytime highs in the mid to upper 70s for Grants Pass, Medford, Ashland, and Klamath Falls. Into Northern California, sunny with highs in the upper 70s in Wairika, and really warming up from Redding and Chico through Sacramento with highs in the upper 80s to low 90s and lows in the mid 50s. Another sunny and warm day across the Bay Area with heat advisories and daytime highs near 90 in Santa Rosa and Napa, upper 80s in San Francisco, and a high near 93 in San Jose with a light and variable wind. It's your Tuesday forecast from Grange Co-op.
Beautiful picture from the top of Mount Ashland, and boy, the camera's moving around this one.
It is. Somebody's got a joystick on that baby, and they're moving it around. Yeah,
I think that's Mount Shasta, just to the left.
It could be.
Yeah,
it could be.
That's looking south. We had one looking to the.
Yes, because there's a little cone right there.
Oh, that's Black Butte.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, there you go.
Good eye.
Yeah.
Oh man, you.
No, I remember flying over it.
Okay, all right.
When you're flying up from the Bay Area, which I did a lot, you look for Mount Shasta, you look for Black Butte, and then you look for Pilot Rock.
Oh, really?
You look for those three, and you just aim for those three.
What if you don't see them?
You're in trouble. You're in big trouble.
Okay.
Really big trouble.
All right. Well, we do celebrate a man on this day, a man who took the gospel to Ireland.
Yes.
And that goes right in with this message with Dr. David Jeremiah, showing that the gospel is for everyone.
Now, there's only one gospel So if you've heard some of the rumors that have been floating around lately that Jewish people get saved in a different way than Gentiles, don't believe it, because it's only one gospel. There's not gospel number 1 and gospel number 2 or plan A and B. There's just one gospel, the gospel of Jesus Christ. The gospel is the great leveler. Everybody comes to faith the same way. When you get to heaven, everybody else who's there got there the same way you did. Nobody climbed up over the wall. Nobody offered some bribe. Nobody said, I'm better than they are. You only get into heaven one way. That's through the gospel of Jesus Christ. Whether you're Jewish or Gentile or Muslim or whoever you are, the gospel is the great leveler. But in the economy of God, he allowed the gospel to begin to his chosen people, the Jews. And you and I are grafted into this because, listen to Acts chapter 13. Paul and Barnabas grew bold and said, it was necessary that the word of God should be spoken to you first, but since you reject it and judge yourselves unworthy of everlasting life, behold, we turn to the Gentiles. It's the same gospel to the Jew first and also to the Greek.
Yeah, I think he makes a good point. It's amazing how the truth tries to get stretched into something else.
Yeah.
You know, that's been going around since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
God really didn't say, I mean, the biggest trick of the devil to Eve, God didn't really mean that.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
You know, he didn't, no. So he really didn't mean that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
All right. So much for all that. Let's check out some of the top stories for today. And what's interesting is that things are still going strong over there in the Middle East. But what was interesting to me is that there is no question that the Israel's intelligence and the United States intelligence combined the best on earth. Remember, it was the CIA that discovered that all these leaders were going to be in the same building at the same time, and they moved the war up one day and got them all.
Yeah.
Well, Iran's top security official and the head of the Revolutionary Guard were both killed in an overnight strike and a blow to the country's leadership by Israel forces last night. What's left?
Yeah.
Who's calling the shots?
Right.
And we have no confirmation one way or the other about the son of the Ayatollah, where he is.
Do they call him the new Ayatollah? What kind of title does he have?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's other speculations about his personhood, I'll put it that way.
Okay. Yes, I heard some weird things about him.
And even the president commented on that. And
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
I have no idea what that means about anything.
I don't either.
I mean, they were questioning his orientation.
Well, I know. And in this day and age where you can't believe what you see on video, how can you believe what you hear?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, they did get these two guys. I don't know what's I don't know what's left. And excuse me, but that is a big blow.
Yeah, it is.
And so they obviously know where everything is. And that brings up the next story. And the next story is the U.S. envoy headed up by Steve Witkoff is now in contact with what remains to be officials from the Iran military. Apparently they are talking. We haven't heard the word ceasefire and we haven't heard the word surrender.
Oh, yeah.
But I will say this. I don't think you can do a ceasefire. It has to be surrender.
Yeah.
You don't go this far and then leave something intact. And
Right.
But apparently they are talking. And Steve Witkoff, this guy's pretty sharp.
Yeah.
He's been negotiating some big deals. If he's not there, he's over in Ukraine. I mean, he's all over the place.
And usually Jared Kushner's with him as well.
Yeah.
It's an interesting role he's got.
Well, you got to remember, Kushner was really the architect of the Abraham Accord.
Yes, yeah.
And so, anyway, we'll see where all this goes. But apparently they are talking. The president mentioned it yesterday in his news conference. He did mention that he felt the war was going to be over quickly. Some asked him if it would be that by the weekend, and he said, well, it'll be over soon, you know. There's one thing about this that that's really interesting to me is we've been in this, 18, 19 days.
Right.
And Russia and Ukraine's been going on almost 3 years.
Right.
What does it tell you about fighting more?
It seems as though there's not much substance over there, that the Russians are a little bit more, you've mentioned it before, paper tiger.
Well, or it's either paper tag or inept or really poorly put together.
Or a combination thereof. Yeah.
You blow on their tanks and they fall apart.
Yeah. Yes.
So
okay.
Something's really crazy.
I got a question though about Iran. You know, we've been hearing reports that their missile capabilities have been knocked out like 90%. Their drone capacities knocked out 95%. So you have 10% left of rockets, 5% left of drones. How do you get the Strait of Hormuz open? What does it take? How much more do you have to do to free that up and let those ships pass through?
I don't have the answer, just a thought. First of all, if the intelligence can sniff out leaders basically sitting in a chair in a room and get them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They know where the rest of this stuff is. And I think the Strait is closed by almost volunteer. In other words, we don't want to risk it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because they haven't cleaned it up yet. There are some sparks left over there. So the threat of a spark or a threat of a missile or a threat of a drone hitting a tanker has got everything shut down. But I can't help but think if it's 5% of whatever's left, they know where it's at and they just got to finish it. And that could be why we're sending 2,500 troops over there.
Okay, yeah, and timing has got to be pretty important on this because this has got to affect midterms, doesn't it?
Well, that's part of it. What's affecting midterms is price of oil.
And this affects the price of oil, right? Yeah, so it's like...
They got to get the oil prices down, and then all this will kind of be a bad memory.
Right.
So I think what the president has, politically speaking, he's going to get this thing ended. He's going to get the Strait opened up. The gas prices are going to come down and shift all the attention to a 250th birthday celebration.
Outstanding. Yeah.
I think that's what's on his mind.
All right. Okay. And then fund the government, too, by the way.
Well, then we found out that, we'll come to that story.
Okay, sorry.
That's right. But one more thing about the war, and that is the president's pretty disappointed with our allies across the country, in particular Britain. Their current prime minister seems to be...
wishy-washy?
Yeah, that's better than what I was going to say.
Okay, good.
I was going to use the word wimp.
Okay, well, yeah, they both work.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I say that well, it doesn't sound respectful, but...
I know.
What is it? What else do you call a guy that won't do anything?
Wishy-washy. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, here's what President Trump had to say about wishy.
Why are we protecting countries that don't protect us? And I've always felt that was a weakness of NATO. We were going to protect them, but I always said when in need, they won't protect us. Now, this isn't need. Need would be one of the big boys. But I will say that we built the greatest military in the world, and we protect people. And if we need their mine boats, or if we need anything, any piece of apparatus that they may have because of a situation that they have, they should be jumping to help us, because we've helped them for years stay out of wars.
Well, it's true. I mean, look at what we've done for NATO and what they've done for us.
Right, right. Yeah, he said it very well. He said, we'll always be there for them and they'll never be there for us.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, look, the prime minister in Britain needs to go. They need a strong leader over there. If they don't stop this Islamic intrusion into their culture, that beautiful country is going to be it's already in a mess. And they're closer to the edge than they think they are.
Do you think that Islamic intrusion is part of the reason that this leader seems so wishy-washy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if the only thing you know is being in meetings, you've never run a business, you've never looked at a balance sheet, you've never made a payroll, you go into the thing and you're like water. You look for the easiest path.
Yeah. Yep.
So much for all that. That just gets me into trouble.
Good.
Let's see here.
Oh, yeah.
Chuck Schumer.
Oh, he's still around?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently so, yeah.
But the first story is, he did announce yesterday that Senate Democrats are calling to end the DHS shutdown.
Oh.
Yes.
However. Okay.
They don't want to fund ICE.
Of course, right.
If the Republicans buy this one, they clearly will lose the midterm.
Yeah. Yes.
It's all or nothing. Have a nice day, Chuck.
Right. Right. Yes.
Okay. Speaking of Chuck, excuse me, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, the big Democrat from New York, called the Save America Act, which is voter registration, quote, this is his words, quote, one of the most despicable pieces of legislation.
Wow. Do you know
Of legislation, I should say.
But you know what that says to a whole bunch of Americans that back this? Man, and a lot of them are his constituents.
Well, yesterday I quoted you and I said that there was a poll out by independents that saw Democrats, they polled Democrats minus 55%.
Okay.
I was wrong.
Oh.
It was minus 61%.
Oh, it gets worse.
Independents.
Oh, man.
Okay, and it's for stuff like this,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And why is it such a threat to democracy to have voter ID?
Right. Yeah. No. And
why is this? Why? Last I saw was 80. I can't remember. It's 83 or 87% of Americans want this.
Yeah.
And Chuck's calling it. Excuse me. Senator Schumer's calling it despicable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we have seen both parties cry foul when it comes to elections. We saw the Democrats scream, rant, and rave, and create their own evidence that the Russians colluded with Donald Trump to get elected. And we've seen Donald Trump and the Republicans say that the Democrats helped steal an election from them as well. So both sides are saying there are election irregularities.
Yeah.
So when it comes to doing something about it, why is one party not willing?
Well, it's an admission in my.
I think you're right.
It's an admission. Don't.
Yes.
Don't look in there. There's nothing in there.
No. Yeah.
Don't look in there. There's nothing in there.
These are not the what was it? The droids you're looking for?
Yeah.
In Star Wars. Yeah.
So I think what we need is get a jar of that real hot horseradish.
Okay.
And walk over to Senator Schumer, take the lid off.
Yeah. Does that clear anything up, Chuck?
We'll be right back.
No. Let's do stock. Oh, no. You're right. We are. I'm on the wrong section. Sorry.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old-world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
If you don't drive it, donate it. By supporting us, you'll get even more mileage out of it.
Thank you from the Dove TV.
Welcome back. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you. All you need is 4 boiled potatoes, carrots, cabbage, horseradish,
some corned beef.
Yeah. What's the town out there? Alturas? What's the other one? Is it Alturas? Has the horseradish?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm trying to think. That's the town. Out in that area that makes the horseradish.
They make horseradish?
Oh, gosh, yeah. And
really?
Yeah. In fact, if they opened it up now, you'd smell it over here. It's the good stuff.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they make actually about 4 or 5 different things.
Well,
and then you can get the one that's really potent.
I can picture it now. You know, you go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, you smell chocolate. You go to Gilroy, California, you smell garlic.
Yes.
So you go to...
I think it's Alturas.
And you smell... horseradish. That'd be great. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Everybody's got clear sinuses in that area.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Back to some backyard news. As you know, last week a rogue federal judge told ICE that they couldn't use anything to protect their building in Portland. They couldn't use tear gas or anything like that for crowd control.
Yeah.
Well, the Trump administration is appealing this. So can you imagine this? You got demonstrators attacking a federal building, and the feds can't do anything to protect their own building.
Exactly.
In the state of, in the city of Portland.
Yeah. When are they going to take handcuffs away from police?
I don't know.
Huh?
You know.
Oh, it's crazy.
I don't know. I think police need to show up in a counseling van now.
Yeah. Yes.
You know. With big padded chairs in there and some soft music.
Come and talk to us.
Yeah, come on. We can read this out.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, this other story, I have to laugh at this because it shows you. Remember, Bob Juster used to tell us headline news, and he's right. If you read the headlines of something, it could sway you before you read the story. Yes. The headlines could actually be the opposite of what the story's telling you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, this story caught my eye only because of what we're dealing with these days. But let me read to you the headline.
Okay.
With gas prices rising, Oregon drivers are now paying some of the highest gas prices in the country.
Oh, thank you, Donald Trump, right?
So that's a blame against Trump.
Of course.
In the war.
Yes, right.
Here's why. You got the picture out there? Logan, throw it up there. Here's why. This is on every pump in the state of Oregon. 0.184 cents for federal tax, 4 cents for state tax, okay? And so we're already paying 5 cents, almost 6 cents a gallon in taxes, and they want to add another 6 cents to that.
Yeah, double it.
Okay? That's why we're the highest in the country.
Right.
Okay? So it's California, us, and Washington have the highest prices, but we have almost 6 cents now, and the governor, in all of her wisdom of solving a problem, wants to put another 6 cents on this. This is not going to go anywhere. She's going to lose this, and hopefully she loses the election. But look at that.
Yeah.
You ever see that on the pump? You ever pay attention to it?
You know, I never really have until I saw the first time you posted that. Now I'm looking, and I do see it. Yeah.
So I was filling up this several months ago, and I took that picture. And I thought, well, I need to throw it up on the air somewhere. So there it is.
You know what? You know what's happening at gas pumps these days? They're putting in. Have you noticed they're putting in video screens? And they're putting in these like short videos, like YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah.
And now you just sit, you're filling up and you're watching TV again.
Yeah.
Are we addicted to screens or what? They're putting them on gas pumps.
Yeah, we're addicted.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. I need to talk to Doug about that.
Oh, yes.
What do you do if you go to the gas pump and you're addicted to a video?
Hey, I can't watch watch the guys behind me is honking and say, wait a minute, the video's not done yet.
As long as it's not CNN News.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
So much for that. All right, let's take a look at Wall Street on this St. Patrick's Day. Thank you, Preston. It's Smart Lawn. Smart guy, smart lawn, smart product. You can get smart, too. The Dow jumped back the other way this morning. It's up 367 points. The Nasdaq jumped up 170. And the S&P, which drives everything, is up 46, almost 47 points. So nice, strong numbers this morning starting the shoots, and I think that's because things are winding down. Gold's up $5,027 an ounce, silver at 81, and crude oil is up high, 97.61. So I think we'll see that start to move in the other direction within the next couple of weeks.
Well, a little while ago you mentioned the fact that Schumer and the Democrats don't get it, and it's obvious in some certain areas, especially, the Save America Act, a simple act to identify voters. And here's another issue they don't get it on. In the last hour, we saw an interesting exchange between a Democrat senator and Kaylee Ray, a volleyball player, a collegiate volleyball player, and basically the state senator was saying that she wasn't competitive enough because she didn't want to compete against the boys. Imagine that.
Gosh.
Well, here Kaylee Ray discusses that heated clash with Democrat Senator, and she did this on America Reports.
It's incredibly dangerous in the arena of sports where physicality matters, because men and women are different, fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. Men have physical advantages that women do not, especially in volleyball, where jumping, explosiveness, athleticism, the height of the net between the men's and women's side of the game is about a 7.5-inch difference. It's significant, the implications that this could have for safety, and that's just one instance of it in sport. The reality is this happens in all kinds of sport across all age levels, and it needs to stop. I'm sure if she had played against a biological male in high school, she would feel different as well. The fact is that she got to compete in girls basketball, a protected environment that was brought to pass by Title IX. She benefited from having a women's category, and to tear that down or to pull the ladder up on the girls that are to come after her, it's honestly despicable. It's so apparent by her line of questioning that Senator Miranda and others like her, they do not understand the full scope of this issue and its implications. Young girls are being sexually harassed in locker rooms, losing scholarships, opportunities, podiums, playing time. I mean, the list goes on and on. And to tell those girls that they have experienced that because of a lack of competitiveness is appalling.
Well, God bless her.
Good for her, yes.
I hope she needs to win this. We need to stand behind this and knock this stupid stuff out.
Whoa.
All right, 29 before the hour. We'll take a quick, well, let's see, hot mustard break.
Okay. We can do that.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Lizer with Lizer Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
Your property demands equipment with more reliability, durability, and versatility built in. Kubota equipment is ready to get the job done right.
Good morning, 26 minutes before the hour on this St. Patrick's Day, and wearing my $5 special.
Hey, it looks way more expensive than $5. Hey, no.
Hey.
That's linen. It's got gold buttons.
I'll pay you back. I'll buy you a hamburger. Oh. Really, I came in this morning. I thought, well, I had a green shirt on, you know. I'm going to wear my other blazer. And this was waiting for me.
Yeah.
With a big dare on it.
Yeah. Set of golf clubs over there.
Golf clubs. Yeah. It looks like a Masters jacket.
It does. It looks like a Masters jacket.
All right. Good morning to you. 26 minutes before the hour. Let's check out with our good friend Chris Mitchell from CBN News on what's the latest in Israel.
As the war with Iran enters its third week, the price of oil and gas and its impact on the global economy is a key concern. And President Trump is seeking an international coalition to help protect shipping in the strategic Strait of Hormuz. And at the same time, the U.S. is threatening to take a major oil facility that would cripple what's left of Iran's economy. Here's the latest. President Trump told reporters on Air Force One he's demanding some oil-dependent countries come and help police the Strait of Hormuz.
Because it is their territory. It's a place from which they get their energy. And they should come and they should help us protect it. You could make the case that maybe we shouldn't even be there at all because we don't need it. We have a lot of oil.
On Friday, the U.S. attacked the military installations, not the oil facilities, on Karg Island, Iran's main facility to export oil and its economic lifeline.
And we left just one little area standing, and the standing part is where they have the pipes, the oil pipes come in. And we can do that on 5 minutes notice. We have it all locked and loaded and ready to go. We want to do it. We chose not to do it.
All this in response to Iran's actions to close the Strait of Hormuz, cut off oil shipments, and create a global economic crisis. But U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright sees this as a short-term disruption.
Americans are feeling it right now. Americans will feel it for a few more weeks. But at the end, we will have removed the greatest risk to global energy supplies.
But one thing is for sure, this blackmail that they're doing with the oil just shows how terrible it would have been if they had nukes. They would blackmail the world with nuclear weapons, and there would be nothing we could do about it.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's foreign policy advisor, Dr. Ophir Falk, told CBN News the war is ahead of schedule, but the campaign will continue. Falk says there's a plan going forward.
Well, I can't speculate and can't get into details exactly what our operational plans are, but I can tell you that we have a set plan with a lot of surprises coming up. At the end of the day, we got to remove the existential threat posed by this Ayatollah regime. They've been calling death to America, death to Israel for 47 years.
Falk says the conditions are being set for the Iranian people to take the future in their hands.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We've been decimating this Ayatollah regime, its capabilities. It's a death cult that's been terrorizing the world and its people for decades. They slaughtered civilians, Iranian civilians on the streets just a few weeks ago. Thousands of them, maybe tens of thousands of them. And at the end of the day, it's up to the Iranian people to do the right thing. And I think they will do the right thing.
The IDF is also sending more ground forces into Lebanon to target Hezbollah forces and create more security for residents in northern Israel. The U.S. and Israel are also fighting back against propaganda fueled by artificial intelligence. President Trump slammed several media organizations for publishing AI-generated videos of Iranian boats attacking shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. And Prime Minister Netanyahu's office published this video showing the Prime Minister getting a cup of coffee, refuting an online AI video claiming he's been assassinated. Well, here we are on day 17, major developments throughout these 17 days, and a lot of developments today, Julie.
That's for sure. Let's go to CBN Middle East correspondent Paul Petit, live at the Jaffa Gate in Jerusalem's Old City. What's the latest, Paul?
Well, hey, guys, I want to give you a quick look at this iconic view right now. And it's not a pretty one. We're seeing an empty old city because of the war that's going on. Very few people coming in and out. That is not a visitor here. Most people in black, signifying that, they live here and are pretty much going home right now. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes. But I want to touch on a little bit about what Chris talked about at the end of his story, and that's all this AI stuff, right? You notice that Netanyahu put up his hand like this in that video. He did it on purpose because he was showing that he had 5 fingers. Now, how did this all take about? Well, this video here where they're circling his hand, this was an outlet that was actually showing that he had 6 fingers when he gave his last address. And they were basically trying to say that, okay, they made up this video that Netanyahu was in fact assassinated, and that this is an AI-generated video from Israel to show that he's in fact still alive. This is the kind of stuff that people are up against here, the AI running amok. There he is showing on the other hand, yes, he has 6 fingers. So when Netanyahu was getting that cup of coffee there, he was proving that he had 5 fingers and not 6. Now, there's other AI-generated video as well going around across the country, particularly through social media. And this is Israel getting blown up by Iran. We know this is fake, but there's video after video showing different parts of Israel getting decimated, entire buildings coming down, and it's happening all over social media. Now, more and more people, here's the sad part, are using social media as a news outlet. So it's always a slippery slope. And here's one where they're showing just decimating someplace in central Israel.
Well, he makes a strong point. So many people are looking at social media. I am absolutely amazed. If you're on any of the social platform, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, X, wherever you go, it's been inundated with AI baloney. Yeah. And it looks so real.
Yeah, it does.
That's the sad part about it. So if you see something on Facebook that seems to be outrageous, immediately go to the other news sources and check it out. And I tell you what I do. I go to the liberal ones first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if it's true from that perspective, they would be headlining it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And it's not even close.
Yeah. And you know what really surprised me too? How many times have we seen polls and people respond where they get their news? And how many people say they get their news from social media? I think, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And it's filled with stuff like this?
Yeah, it's really bad. All right, let's check out the weather with a guy that's looking for a jar of horseradish.
Here's your Tuesday forecast from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon, including Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, cool and mostly cloudy today with scattered light showers at times, highs in the upper 50s to low 60s and lows in the upper 40s. In the Willamette Valley, Salem, Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, expect plenty of clouds and occasional light rain or drizzle through the day. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s, then a continued chance of showers under mostly cloudy skies tonight and lows in the mid 40s. Partly sunny skies across central Oregon with daytime high temperatures in the low to mid 70s for Prineville and Bend and near 69 in Sun River. Mostly sunny in mid 70s over in Boise, Idaho. A slight chance of rain, then partly sunny along the Oregon coast with highs in the low to mid 60s for Coos Bay, Port Orford, and Brookings. Mostly sunny skies in Crescent City, California with a high near 64. It continues to warm up in southern Oregon with sunny to mostly sunny skies in the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin with daytime highs in the mid to upper 70s for Grants Pass, Medford, Ashland, and Klamath Falls. Into Northern California, sunny with highs in the upper 70s in Wairika, and really warming up from Redding and Chico through Sacramento with highs in the upper 80s to low 90s and lows in the mid 50s. Another sunny and warm day across the Bay Area with heat advisories and daytime highs near 90 in Santa Rosa and Napa, upper 80s in San Francisco, and a high near 93 in San Jose with a light and variable wind. It's your Tuesday forecast from Grange Co-op.
All right, beautiful shot of our off the top of Mount Ashland. That's looking out towards, that's McLaughlin.
That's McLaughlin, yeah.
And that big tower there is not a minaret, it's a...
what is it?
Broadcast tower.
Oh, okay.
I could say something about that, but I won't.
Let me ask you,
for me to do that.
Okay, let me ask you, being you brought it up. Yeah, we don't want to hear that. Yeah, it's an interesting story, but there are a lot of towers on top of Mount Ashland, especially in the one in the Ball, you know. So, is there a lot of, like, RF up there?
Hey, good question.
Because, I mean, I've been subjected to that quite a bit in my life.
Well, let's see. If there's FM, there's no AM up there. FM, yep. Well, there's a certain amount of RF, yes. All of it's RF at the end of the day.
Okay.
Which one is dangerous?
How do you determine which one's dangerous?
Your eyes cross when you get to the bottom of the
Okay. I was looking at Netanyahu and I was wondering how many fingers he had up too. So I don't.
Well, if you get up there and things are a little fuzzy.
Okay. Oh, thanks. I'm moving
by the way, I have to make a little bit of a correction. It's pretty close.
All right.
The horseradish I was talking about is Tule Lake.
Tule Lake. Okay. All right.
They have a pretty raw version.
Do they?
Yeah. The one that people see in the store a lot is beaver.
Oh.
That's the other one.
Okay.
But Tule Lake is the one that says, this old-fashioned horseradish, and they make a version that, wow.
Yeah, good. Well, today's the day for it.
I remember we were all going to a Christmas dinner one time, and we're sitting around with some friends, and we had prime rib with horseradish.
Yeah.
And it was so hot that our eyes were watering and our nose is running, and yet we're sitting there going,
this is great.
So much for all that.
All right. Well, in the day and age in which we live, we have witnessed an amazing amount of things thrust up into space through the years during the space race. And some of it has come down. A lot of it has stayed up. There's a lot of stuff floating around there, including this, the longest surviving man-made object in space, which was launched on this day in history. On March 17, 1958, during the early days of the space race, the United States launched a satellite that's still circling Earth today. From the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory, the tiny satellite Vanguard 1 was sent into orbit. The aluminum sphere was only about the size of a cantaloupe, though Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev jokingly called it a grapefruit. Despite its small size, Vanguard 1 made big history. It became the first satellite powered by solar cells, a technology that would later power countless spacecraft. The satellite transmitted data for several years before its radio fell silent in 1964, but the spacecraft itself never came down. Today, 68 years later, Vanguard 1 is still orbiting Earth, making it the oldest human-made object in space. A tiny satellite from 1958, still quietly circling our planet as a reminder of the dawn of the space race. How about that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All the way around. All right. Well, from the American Veterans Center, this little clip, I want you to pay attention this morning. This is a World War II vet who talks about how blessed we really are. And here's what he had to say.
We are a very blessed country, and this is what I wish and hope and pray whoever sees this realizes how blessed we are. The 8th Air Force, we lost a little bit over 26,000 guys, 19 to 28. Think about this. They gave their lives. They never became husbands or dads. And they never came home. And I tell these young people, when you go home tonight, you say a prayer of thanks to God for those men that fought for you and gave their lives. And now that's what I'm proud of, that I was able to do something for my country.
That's a lot.
Powerful.
That's a lot to be proud of.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
There's a whole lot of hurting. Oh, 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 oh. Calling our hearts, calling our hands, calling our feet to take a stand. Why sit around and wait for a miracle to come when we can be
You feel most alive where you feel most at home. And this is living. Bobcat, the company that changed the way the world works, is coming home with a quality compact tractor built to match your quality of life. This isn't work you have to do. It's work you get to do. So get it done in a tractor that's all you. See your dealer or visit bobcat.com.
welcome back. 10 minutes before the hour. Often I've been asked to do invocations, and I'm honored when I'm asked to do them in various events. I've done them for the president elect.
Okay.
I did them while he was a candidate running.
Okay. Somebody not of faith is watching us right now, and they scratch their head and said, "What's an invocation?"
Invocation.
Okay.
Invocation is when you're asked to do a prayer before an event starts.
All right.
So, and I've done them for Bush on a couple, President Bush. Well, he's president now. At the time, he was candidate Bush. I did one for Vice President Cheney. And that was the one that they asked me not to pray in Jesus' name.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'm like 30 seconds from going out to pray, and his handler came over to me and said, "Thank you for praying. Please don't close the prayer in Jesus' name."
Is there anybody's name that they wanted instead?
Well, I don't know. So I went out there and I prayed in Jesus' name. I thought, well, what are you going to do to me? Shoot me? Fire me? Send me to jail? What are you going to do?
Great.
It was right here at the expo.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
But in some countries, they do have invocations. You know, I think it would be an honor to do the invocation for Congress someday.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Jack Hibbs was asked to do that one time.
Okay, yeah.
And other notables have done that.
Yes.
But in some places, they have what they call a reflection. So they don't really give a prayer, but they give a spiritual reflection.
Okay.
And such is the case at the Scottish Parliament when they recently opened. They asked the Reverend Alistair MacLeod to do a reflection, and here it is.
Good afternoon. The first item of business is time for reflection. Our time for reflection leader today is the Reverend Alistair MacLeod, Moderator, Free Church of Scotland.
Thank you. Presiding Officer, members, guests. In a recently published book entitled "What Has Christianity Ever Done for Scotland?", the author reminds modern secular Scotland that our education and legal systems, healthcare, human rights and the arts were shaped by those who had a living connection to Jesus Christ. For instance, James Young Simpson, the pioneer of anaesthesia, was asked by a reporter in his day, "What was your greatest discovery?" Likely expecting an answer that went along the lines of his life's work, he instead replied that there is a saviour. What is it about Jesus Christ that draws the deepest devotion? There is no questioning his unique impact. Over 2 billion people today, from remote rural tribal groups to the most sophisticated nations on earth, claim a live connection to him. From today's world of elite sport to historical figures like Napoleon, who contrasted the empires of Alexander the Great, Caesar and Charlemagne. On what did we rest the genius of our creations, he asked? Upon sheer force. Jesus Christ alone founded his empire upon love, and at this hour millions of men will die for him. Like the prophet who reminded the people of his day, "You have planted much, but harvested little. You eat, but never have enough. You drink, but never have your fill. You earn wages, but they don't last." No wonder these words were bookended by, "Give careful thought to your ways." I love my country with all its quirks. And what made Scotland a beacon of democracy, human dignity, invention, artistic genius, can once again make us thrive with kindness and hope when we hear the words of Jesus, and like the wise man who built his house in a rock, put them into practice. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Reflection. I like that.
Yeah. So it's a new way of doing a prayer.
Okay.
A reflection, a spiritual reflection. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
John Veal will be with us. He's the senior pastor of the Enduring Faith Christian Center in Chicago, and talking about being spiritually strong these days. Also coming up, Michael Bustler will be talking about, can we recover from this economic high prices of gas?
Yeah.
And is the president going to reach into the reserves?
Big question. Did the reserves ever get replenished after
Yes.
President Biden?
Well,
Because Biden did it.
I can't answer that.
And he did it, tried to influence an election. But anyway, that's a whole different story, and I'm not going there.
All right.
Okay, let's go here instead.
Quick.
Oh, yeah, we're ready.
All right.
Check this out. Here's a great story about a friendship started with a message in a bottle. Back in 2001, Diane Charles was walking along a beach in Stanley, Tasmania, when she spotted a barnacle-covered bottle rolling in with the waves. Inside was a handwritten note in Spanish. With help from friends and eventually a translator, she discovered the message was from Erica Boyero, a bartender from Colombia who had tossed several bottles into the ocean back in 1997 while working on a cruise ship near Norway. Charles sent a fax to the address on the note, and incredibly, it reached Boyero. What started as a mysterious message soon became a long-distance friendship. Over the next 2 decades, the two women stayed in touch through life's milestones, even as Boyero later moved to Germany. And recently, they finally met in person in Tasmania, embracing like longtime friends and walking together along the very beach where that bottle washed ashore. Proof that sometimes a message carried by the ocean can connect people half a world apart.
So it wasn't a taco order.
And it wasn't social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Psalm 32, verse 8. I will instruct you and will teach you in the way you should go, and I will guide you with my eye. Take that with you today as Jerry is playing.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express, breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
At Kelly's Automotive Service,
being good stewards of what God has entrusted to us
is at the core of our business.
We believe what we do matters.
Every interaction, every transaction is another opportunity
to bring Christ's values into the marketplace.
If you're a technician who wants to be part of something bigger,
or just looking for a new shop to bring your vehicle,
we would love to meet you.
We're Kelly's Automotive Service,
where we service your vehicle,
but take care of you.
Tuesday.
People are looking at the news, they're seeing the things that are happening, and they're asking a lot of questions. Where are we? How did we get here? What is going on?
The real story behind the headlines.
There's a battle between good and evil. You see that battle playing out in the news around us and in our lives.
Inside the world of the unseen.
Are there angels? Are there demons? And if they are, what does that mean for each of us?
Tuesday on the 700 Club, right here on the Dove TV.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
Now here's this couple who says, we don't need that kind of a covenant so that we can escape and get out of this. And it is an unholy relationship. Two men together cannot be one flesh. Two women together in a sexual relationship cannot be one flesh. It is the man and it is the woman brought together by God, as indicated here in this passage of Scripture, that become one flesh. And that means that their relationship is not just physical, but metaphysical. In fact, you know that the word one that is used there is the word when God speaks about being one, for the oneness of the Trinity.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
You're watching the Dove TV, encouraging and informative for Salem, Kaiser, and the Willamette Valley. Seen on KSLM 27 and these Dove TV affiliates.
Welcome back, and been looking forward to having Pastor John Veal back with us for a lot of reasons. But he's the senior pastor of the Enduring Faith Christian Center there in Chicago. He's also the CEO of the John Veal Ministries. He's a regular contributor to Charisma Magazine online and the author of several books, including Destroying Demonic Tactics and Racism, the Church and the Nation. And there's a picture of the racism cover of the book there on the screen. Check that out. And he does have a website, John Veal, V-E-A-L, johnveal.org. And there's a picture of his landing page. Pastor Veal, good to see you, brother. How are you?
You too, Perry. It's great to see you again.
I've been trying to figure out how I was going to talk to you today. We seem to be, as a nation, maybe even as a church, under such spiritual attack that I don't know. I just don't know if we see it that way. I don't know if we are processing that there is a stirring in the heavenlies. And unless you understand that and believe that, then you'd think we're just a bunch of crazy people. But there's something going on. I mean, the demonic forces in and around everything these days is so blatant. You kind of wonder, okay, God, where are you? Or are we just being superstitious?
Well, I don't think we're being superstitious. I believe that there's definitely a shift going on in the world, in the church. I feel it. I felt it for some time. I think I told our ministry basically that, you know, we were shifting into a different realm, different level. And I think with shifting comes disruption. Sometimes it comes with chaos. Sometimes it comes with division. But I believe God is still in control. You know, the devil may look like he's winning in certain areas, but he's not. He lost at the cross of Calvary. So I think we just need to hold on to our faith and be confident in the end game, so to speak. God has got it all in control. So no matter what the devil tries to do, no matter what he's actually doing, God is still sovereign, and we'll be fine.
Do you think we understand our anxiousness? It's really a stirring in the spirit, or are we just overwhelmed with stuff?
I think we can be overwhelmed with stuff, everything that's going on. A lot of times we have a tendency to look at our situation instead of looking at our God, who is the God of our situations. So we have to kind of, you know, not let the demonic distractions veer us off of what the word says. I think we always need to go back to the word. I've seen so many preachers preaching words without the word, if that makes sense. I mean, where they have whole sermons and there's no scripture at all. So the word is the thing that will do the work. I mean, that's what needs to be spoken. That's what changes lives. And that's what can change the course even of our nation.
I'm struggling to ask you this question, but you're a brother. You can take it.
Absolutely.
Okay. We've seen some false prophets exposed lately. Hard to process that when so many people trusts have been destroyed, and all of a sudden it could remove you from believing in the transcendence. How do you process that?
The Bible talks about false prophets being among us, you know, and I've seen so many that have gone forth, not just prophets, but, you know, those within the fivefold ministry that have gone on without the actual calling of God. I think what happens is that some people are looking at celebrity. They're looking at being famous. They want notoriety. And that's the biggest problem I've seen within the church. And I believe it comes out of a spirit of rejection, where people find identity in an office or a gift instead of identity in Christ Jesus. So, yeah, there is a lot of false ones, but guess what? They're being exposed on an unprecedented level. I've never seen exposure like this that's been happening within the last 4 or 5 years. It's been bananas, because I believe God is up to something. I believe God is doing something even behind the scenes, to where he's shaking up the church. He's shaking up these people that have walked in areas that he hasn't called them to walk in. And the true are being uplifted, and they're starting to be unveiled.
Is this the fulfillment of the scripture that the judgment starts first in the house of the Lord?
Absolutely. It definitely starts with us. God is definitely cleaning house, because he's got, you know, he will always protect his people. Because I've seen people in churches be, extremely wounded by leadership, you know, to whether it's indiscretions or whether it's just outright meanness. I mean, I've seen all kind of things happen with leaders that I believe that were never called to be in the pulpit. And I'm starting to believe that I always believed in restoration, but I think when leaders do it over and over and over again, they sin over and over again, and it's found out. I believe there comes a time where they should not be restored back, at least not back to a pulpit, because they've done so much damage and will continue to do the damage.
You talk a lot about spiritual resilience and endurance. How do you separate those two?
Well, the name of our church is Enduring Faith Christian Center. So resilience is like having strength in adversity. Endurance is just completing the race, continuing running. And that's what we have to do as long as we're on this earth. We have to run the race that is set before us to get to the goal, which is Christ Jesus, which is making heaven, which is getting to glory, So I believe that there is very important to endure everything that we're going through, even the things we're going through in the world right now. We've got to endure because God is still in control and God loves us. He cares about us and he will take care of us.
Do you think, and this is kind of a universal question for churches in the United States, do you think our message is clear about Jesus and repentance and salvation?
I think it's skewed a bit. I mean, I think that most people have their idea of salvation, and some of it goes beyond Scripture. That's our litmus test, is just really placing our lives in comparison to Scripture, seeing the Word, the Bible as a mirror, seeing ourselves within the Word, and that's how we kind of can assess how we're living. Because I think some people believe they can live any type of way and still make heaven, but the Bible is quite clear about who will make heaven and who won't. So we have to always kind of understand that, because the Bible also says a man can make things right in his own eyes, and that's what's happening a lot of times in the world, because people think certain behaviors are fine, but it goes against the Word of God. And even in the Word of God, it says you won't make heaven if you continue to do them. So I think we have to always line up with Scripture.
It seems like in our delivery of talking about confession and repentance, we don't want to mention the word sin.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm talking about?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, people want to gloss over their sin. I mean, I was just preaching to my church last Sunday. I was saying how, there's demonic pressure to be perfect, and it really is. We will never be perfect. We can strive for perfection. Our Lord was perfect, or is perfect, and it's just such pressure on us to be that. But we have to know we can't be that way. But the thing about it, we have to understand is that even in our flaws, we have an advocate. We have Jesus Christ. We have the Lord that will forgive us if we ask for it. So that's what's so important in terms of sin. I mean, I look at it like this. You can get saved and still have lingering sin. Some sin will just drop off you, but there'll be something that lingers for years and years, and you're trying to overcome it. It could be thoughts, it could be whatever, and you're trying to overcome it. You understand, why can I overcome this thing? I mean, and it just lingers, but it reminds us who we were. So we're not so judgmental on people that struggle with the same things that we struggle with. While it's a daily fight to get rid of it, to get it out, but we have to understand that, again, there's pressure to be perfect, and we will never be perfect.
Don't we call that spiritual arrogance?
Exactly. But there's some people that think they're perfect. They think that they float on air, they walk into church floating and walking and doing all these things. So, I mean, no one's perfect. Definitely spiritual arrogance.
I want to come back dealing with destroying demonic tactics. You and I have talked about this before, but I guess my question to you today is, sometimes we see something in somebody, and I guess we have spiritual intuition as to what it is, could even be demonic. Is it scripturally correct that the Lord could lead you to pray for that person's deliverance, even though you would never lay hands on them?
You know what? I believe I train our deliverance ministers in that way. I don't remember one time in Scripture hearing or reading about Jesus laying hands on a demonic. I've never seen that. I've seen him, like, after he cast out the devils and he laying hands and healed the sick. I think it was in the book of Luke. And the thing about it that, I believe there can be transference. You have to really, really be careful. I believe you can speak to demons in the authority and in the name of Jesus Christ, and they have to go. And what I notice is levels. I noticed when I first started ministry, I mean, I've been attacked by things I couldn't see. and I'd bind them in Jesus' name and do all this stuff, and they would still kind of linger, and it would take a minute for them to go. But as I increased my weight in the spirit, in terms of reading the word, in terms of my relationship with God, before I can even say it, sometimes the demons would go. I saw a witch I think we talked about this. I saw a witch in my bedroom, and before I can say, get out in Jesus' name, this thing was gone. So I believe it's your level and weight in the spirit that helps speed up demonic demons leaving.
So what we're talking about here is can seem really weird to a lot of people, but what I'm trying to zero in on, that there is another dimension that sometimes we play with but don't understand it. And maybe play is not the right word, but maybe we experience it, but we don't know how to deal with it.
I think what you said, play, is pretty correct, because you have the Ouija boards, you have tarot cards, you have all kind of things that people actually play with that don't realize that these are demonic portals. These are entry points for demons to come into your life, come into your body. We have to really be careful with what we do or what we look at as possibly innocent, because it can truly be a portal or doorway to the demonic. And you wonder why all hell is breaking loose in your life. What have you been playing with?
Would you say that addictions are spiritual strongholds?
Absolutely. In my book, Destroying Demonic Tactics, I kind of talked about like mental illness. I was saying how demons can partner with mental illness and exacerbate it, right? I say the same with drugs or anything that they're doing that's not of God. I believe demons can come in through those portals. They always talk about demons in a demon in a bottle. I believe they can actually come in through alcoholism, drug addiction, and what happens is they partner with what's already going on with the person physically, and it augments that thing where it's more of it becomes a stronger stronghold, if that makes sense. I do actually believe that.
All right, let me take a quick break because I have some more questions along this line. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out Pastor Veal's book called Destroying Demonic Tactics and his other book, Racism. There's a picture of the cover of that book on the screen. Boy, he tackles this one head on. And he does have a website, johnveal, VEAL.org, and there's a picture of his website. We'll be right back.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old-world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
Hi, I'm Ryan Robertson, host of a brand new program on theDove, Ministries on the Move. Ministries on the Move spotlights the incredible work of how God is using everyday people and organizations, putting their faith into action, serving the hurting, strengthening families, and sharing the hope of the gospel in practical ways. Be inspired and discover these Ministries on the Move. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m., right here on theDove TV. Encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us.
And what an honor to have back with us today Pastor John Veal. He's the senior pastor there of Enduring Faith Christian Center in Chicago. His latest book is an amazing one. Well, it's called Racism. That's his latest book, The Church and the Nation. Picture of the cover of the book there on the screen. Previous book dealing with destroying demonic tactics. He does have a website, johnveal.org, and there it is on the screen. Pastor John, I was trying to think during the break how to ask you this question. I want to give you three terms here, and let's talk about them. Anxiousness, distractions, and burnout. Anxiousness, distractions, and burnout. I'm a lay counselor. I'm burned out from doing that. But I'm hearing this. I'm hearing anxiousness. There seems to be a level of anxiety in our culture unlike anything we've ever experienced. And out of that comes a big question: who can you trust? When you see your government lying to you, friends falling, pastors failing, all of a sudden all what you thought was true is not true. And the other thing is, I've asked people lately, can you turn everything off for 1 minute and concentrate on Jesus? And you'll experience distractions at a level you've never experienced before. Because the Bible says, be still and know. And when you try to be still or create a venue of solitude, you're going to experience distractions unlike anything you've ever experienced before. And I guess that has to do with praying through. And then burnout. I think spiritually we are just burned out. What's your take, Pastor?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is times of refreshing. We need those times. We have to kind of discover where we can find our escape, so to speak, from everyday life. What I've been doing is I get up a bit earlier than I need to, and I talk to God. The first thing that I used to do a lot, and I do it less and less over the past couple of years, is I would always grab my cell phone. It's the first thing I'm looking at. But now I start talking to God first. I start praying. And it's very, very important to start your day like that because it can determine the direction of the rest of the day. So I think everyone feels anxious, burnout. I feel it. I mean, I feel all those things. But I get before the Lord, and those times of refreshing start to come. I realize how short life is. I think people don't really realize that. I feel like I have more runway behind me than I do in front of me, as I get older. And it becomes more important to do the will of God, no matter what we have to go through. I mean, the disciples in Scripture count themselves worthy to be beaten for Christ. So what we're going through in comparison to what happened with them is very, very minute, so we have to think of those things and think about the brevity of life and say, hey, look, while it's still day, I have to work. While it's still day, I gotta work because at night no man can work. So it's important to get the will of God done, which I believe you're doing, I believe I'm doing, and so many other people that are watching are doing. Don't get weary in well doing. Do what God has called you to do. The reward is waiting on the other side. Let's just get through the night.
Wow. Okay, good stuff. If you were to go to 30,000-foot view of the American church today, how would you rate it?
That's a good one. I'd say maybe about a 6 or 7. I'm not happy with a lot of things I've seen in the church. We've gotten so far away from the word. I think in many cases we've gotten so far away from God. And I've been to some churches where God really wasn't there, and his presence, at least, his manifested presence, was not there. And I'm looking at leadership. I'm looking at what they're doing. I'm looking at the sin. I'm looking at all these crazy things that I've seen, all the hypocrisy, all the competitive ways. And where ministers I've seen some of them become very arrogant based on their notoriety. And that's not God. We have to remain humble. My spiritual mother, late great Ruth Brown, told me, she said, the closer you get to God, the more loving you should become, son. And I've always held on to that. The closer I get to the Lord, I got to be more loving because he is love. And that's what we should expect to see from our leaders. That's exactly what we should expect to see from our churches.
There's a term out there, and it's being heard and used more and more. I've even had Dr. George Barna on that kind of confirms this, and others, that there seems to be a shift among young people. They are seeking faith. It's healthy, even among young men, more so than young women. And they're calling it the silent revival. In other words, things are happening. You don't want it to be seen by the press because it'll be criticized, but there is seemingly a silent revival, which indicates no one denomination can take credit for it. God's doing something else and something fresh. Do you sense it?
Yes, I've always sensed that. During demonic taxes, I talk about that revival. And I've told my church for years, I told them before even this year, there's something coming to the earth realm that will cause people to run back to the church. And I believe we're in the midst of it. I believe it's overshadowing everything that we're doing right now, because I think that's what it's going to take. I mean, we have some people that are going, I love that silent revival. That's awesome, because I believe it is actually starting, but it hasn't culminated yet. It hasn't got to its peak yet, but it is coming like we've never seen before. I truly believe that.
So what do you think the driving force is? Is it anxiety? What is it? Culture?
Driving force. I think it's really going to start off with fear. I believe there is something coming to this world that's going to cause a lot of people to run back to the church due to fear. And let me qualify that. When I first got saved, for real, it was out of fear and not love, because I was afraid of going to hell, because I was in the Bible Belt, and they say you're going to hell if you do this, if you don't accept Jesus and all, And so what happened, I backslid for about 12, 13 years. But then I found the love of Jesus, or the love of Jesus found me, and that changed everything. But I think it's gonna be initiated by fear, but end up being kept by love.
There was a survey done, it's been echoed on several occasions, that the number one emotion in America before COVID was loneliness. Post-COVID, it's fear. You think that's correct?
Post-COVID. That's interesting. Loneliness I could see because of isolation. I mean, in Chicago, we sheltered in place. So I could actually see that. And I saw a lot of people deal with mental illness during the shelter in place. It was really, really disheartening. But I could see fear, because we're fearful of the unknown. We don't know what war is going to break out. We don't know if we're going to be attacked. It's a lot of ifs that happen afterwards. So I could truly understand fear being felt by many people.
You've mentioned mental illness several times in our conversation today. How do you describe that?
It could be a chemical imbalance. It could be something that's actually physical. But like I was saying, I think I said earlier, if a person is inhabited by a demon, you can partner with that mental illness and exacerbate it and make it even worse. So I think there should be more mental health facilities available within the United States, not just the United States, but the world, because there are so many people that are dealing with this illness that need treatment. And I think we can do better.
Well, that would suggest we got to have trained people.
Yes, absolutely. We need trained people.
Okay. One other question, and again, Pastor Veal, thanks for your time. You're fascinating. Again, let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out his latest book, Racism, and then, of course, Destroying Demonic Tactics, and his website, johnveal.org. Do you think the America Christian Church message today is clear?
It's skewed. It's skewed because we have so many churches, and a lot of them are not Christ-centered, if that makes sense. If they are Christ-centered, some of them are not the Christ of the Bible, because I think a lot of times we've made churches in our own image to align with our lifestyles, to align with our desires and what we want to do, instead of what God has commanded us to do. And I think that's where the error comes in, because we've got so many churches that don't line up with Scripture, but they've made their own word, their own Bible, and their voices have become the voice of the Lord. And that's what's so important in this season, to really listen and know God's voice in terms of our next.
All right. Just quickly, what do you want people to take away from your book, Racism?
Something that needs, I want them to understand it's something that needs to be dealt with because it still exists. It's still there. And I think we can do better. I know we can do better because I believe the kingdom has every color in it. I mean, every race in it. I mean, that is truly kingdom because I've seen kingdom flyers and conferences, and it's only one race. The kingdom is multicultural, and we have to keep that in mind because when we get to heaven, I believe we're going to see all kind of colors, all kind of races, all kind of tribes. So we better get used to it now.
Still a problem, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you have any idea why?
I think prejudice can be in almost every person with someone that's different than they are. And I believe that media has really just made it worse in terms of what they show and who they show doing it. So I think people can perceive certain things based on media, based on the news about someone of another race, and say, okay, well, all the races are like that. All their races like that. We can't make these assumptions.
Pastor, thank you. Let me say, check out the book called Racism, the Church and the Nation. There's a picture of the cover of the book. Check out his website, johnveal.org, and his other book called Destroying Demonic Tactics. I think you'll find that to be an amazing resource. Pastor, you're an inspiration. Thank you, friend, for your time. We value it greatly, and let's stay connected.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Perry. It's great being on with you again.
All right,
Thank
God
you.
bless you. Okay.
You too.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? When you want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life, call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Over time, every wall tells a story, but sometimes those stories need a fresh start. At Chris Silva Painting, we specialize in transforming indoor spaces, whether it's your family home or your business workspace. With premium paints, flexible scheduling, and expert attention to detail, we make the process simple and stress-free so you can focus on what matters most, living and working in a space you love. From bold new colors to subtle tones of sophistication, let Chris Silva Painting bring your vision to life, one wall at a time. Chris and his crew are courteous. They're efficient, organized, timely, and clean. Chris Silva Painting also offers military discounts. At Chris Silva Painting, our mission statement is to bring Christ's heart and principles to our customers and our job sites. We do that with honesty, integrity, and hard work. We don't cut corners, we paint them. CCB number 176097. Chris Silva Painting, 541-890-3960. 541-890-3960.
Welcome back. And of course, we are all kind of got our brain on tilt a little bit about the economy, gas prices, the future, wars, all of this. Perfect timing for us to have the professor back, and that is Professor Michael Busler. He's also a public policy expert and a professional of finance, professional, but a professor also of finance at Stockton University in New Jersey. Someday I hope to pass his class. He does have a website, muckrack.com/Michael-Busler. And there's a picture of the landing page there. So check it out, muckrack.com/Michael Busler. Professor, good to see you, friend. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Perry. Always my pleasure to be here.
You know, I'm probably your longest tutored student.
Sometimes it takes a while to catch on.
Yeah. Well, thank you. A lot to talk to you about. All right. So overall, globally, 30,000-foot view, how's this war impacting global markets and finance?
Not good. So, energy is very important to every economy in the world, the U.S. and every other economy. Much of the energy we use comes from fossil fuels, and a big chunk of that comes out of the Middle East. Now that this war has been started against Iran, even though Iran seems to be, President Trump's words, obliterated when it comes to they don't have a Navy anymore, they don't have a Air Force anymore, they don't have the ability to shoot as many missiles and drones as they have in the past. So we've neutralized much of them, but not completely. We've also taken out most of their leaders. The Ayatollah and his top, I think, 40 people were taken out the first day of the war. His son was named the new Ayatollah. His condition is somewhat in question. He hasn't been seen, at least publicly, live. He did give a message to a TV commentator to read for him. There is some belief that he has been injured, perhaps very seriously. And then today, they just took out two more of Iran's top military leaders. So although we've had very great successes, Iran is still able to shoot some missiles and some drones into the Straits of Hormuz, and that will cut transportation through that strait. And by doing that, that's going to severely impact the supply of oil. And when you reduce the supply of anything, the price goes up. And the price shot up was down around $60 a barrel. It's now up into the mid 90s, although it's fluctuated around that for the last day or two. And that's translated into gasoline about 75 to 80 cents a gallon more than it was before this. So the low supply is going to hurt the economies of the world. The higher gas prices will push inflation higher. The overall short-term impact of this is negative on economies. Longer term may be different, but in the short term, it's negative.
Okay, I think we're all feeling it and sensing that. We seem to be rolling with it. The president is talking about releasing some oil out of the reserves. I kind of lost track of that, Professor. I know that during the first administration of Trump, he filled it up with cheap oil. During the Biden years, it kind of got drained a little bit, and I don't know what those levels are now. Do you?
So the strategic reserve holds about 700 million barrels of oil. President Trump made sure it was full in his first term. When he was getting oil, most of it he paid $20 a barrel. Some of it he didn't pay anything. They actually paid us to take it. And the reason was during this COVID situation, tankers would arrive with oil and the refiners said, listen, we can't take it. We're not selling anything. So they started to lower the price and it actually got down to a negative number. Take it and we'll pay you for taking it. The point is he filled the oil reserve at very inexpensive oil. Politically, in 2022, President Biden going into the midterms, knowing incumbent presidents don't do that well typically in midterm elections, also knowing that high gas prices always hurts the administration in power, President Biden took about 300 million barrels out of the 700 and dumped it onto the market, which did bring the price of oil down, but it left us with a reserve that was just over slightly half full. President Trump says he wants to take another 170 million barrels out of that to help stabilize oil prices now. And some foreign countries are even going to their reserves to try to stabilize oil prices. In the short run, it will help to stabilize them. At some point, we have to refill this. President Trump says after this conflict is over, and he says it should be over in a matter of a few weeks, Once it's over and the Straits of Hormuz are fully opened and everybody's producing oil again, the price of oil should come down dramatically, maybe as low as it was before when it was under $60 a barrel. Now, the one caveat to that is Iran has blown up some oil fields in Qatar, United Arab Emirates. It may take them a little time to ramp up production. Again, in the short term, we're going to see high prices. I think in the longer term, we'll have more safety in the world and prices will come back down again.
Could all this cause the feds to rethink interest rates?
So that's a good question. So President Trump has been pushing the Federal Reserve to reduce interest rates. Jay Powell has been reluctant, although he has brought them down somewhat. But he's been reluctant to bring them down further, citing inflationary fears. Now, Powell will be gone in May. We'll have a new Fed chair, probably Kevin Warsh, and he's a little more aggressive. He's going to bring interest rates probably down. The problem is when inflation goes up, and as a result of these higher oil prices over the next month or two, you're going to see inflation inch up somewhat. So when inflation goes up, the Fed doesn't want to cut interest rates. On the other hand, the job market is weakening. Last month, we not only didn't we add jobs, we lost 92,000 jobs. Typically, when the job market is doing poorly like that, we have a weak job market, the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates to stimulate the economy. So they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here. They're worried about inflation, so you don't want to cut interest rates. They're worried about the job creation slowing, so you do want to cut interest rates. What's going to happen at the meetings, I'm not sure.
Just one more question on oil, Professor, and that is, from what I understand, it's not a matter of shortage of oil, it's getting it delivered.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
And so what's interesting to me is that a lot of these ship owners don't want to risk the Straits until they can be guaranteed. And that would even include escorting. I mean, all right, you could be escorted out of there, but that doesn't really protect you from a missile going rogue. So I guess the point I'm trying to make here is when the war is done, you know, if we declare victory or whatever, the thing is over, that there's plenty of oil to flow. We just got to get it to market. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're producing more oil now than we ever have. We do have to get it to market. And a large percentage of the world, not so much the U.S. relies on Middle East oil anymore, but a large segment of the world's oil, particularly for Asian countries like China and Japan, comes through those straits. So although we have plenty of oil, the ships are reluctant to go through there. Why? Because those ships carry insurance. Typically, Lloyd's of London insures them against anything that happens. Lloyd's of London said, don't go through there. We're not going to insure you. So President Trump said, we'll act as what's called a reinsurer. So that tell them to go through. If Lloyd's of London's ends up having large losses or losses above some amount that they'll agree upon, then the U.S. will kick in and pay the difference. That will ensure that Lloyd's of London will not end up with very large losses as a result of having these ships pass through. That still doesn't look like it's enough for most countries.
Yeah.
They don't want to necessarily have to worry about insurance. They want to worry about getting through there without getting blown up. And they're not confident that that will happen yet, so they're not going through the straits.
Is there anything beyond the war that's impacting the economy right now?
The war is the biggest factor, and it's a negative factor. Now, there are some positives on the economy that should lead to good growth this year, especially if that Iran conflict can get resolved. So what are some of those things? So in the July bill, starting January 1st of this year, the July bill passed last summer, reduced taxes in a couple of different areas. Anybody who works on tip income, that won't be taxed anymore. Anybody who works overtime, the overtime will not be taxed anymore. And many of the Social Security recipients will not have their income taxed anymore. So all of that, lower taxes creates more spending for workers who are consumers, and that should help stimulate the economy. The other thing passed in the bill, which I think is going to really stimulate the economy, right now, if a business makes an investment in capital equipment or builds a factory, to recover that capital takes a number of years. You depreciate it over a number of years. Machinery, typically 8 to 10 years. Factories, typically 20 to 25 years. So it takes a long time to recover the capital. Passed in the bill last July, investments made this year, you can expense the entire amount this year. So you can depreciate it all this year and recover your capital. You have to wait 8, 10, 12, 25 years. I believe that will encourage a lot of investment, mostly in factories and rebuilding plants and modernizing things. And that investment boom, of course, you need more people once you start building these things. That investment boom, I think, will lead to higher growth and much lower unemployment. And the third thing is Trump got a lot of foreign countries to agree to make investments into the U.S. Mostly said, we're going to put a high tariff if you make the product in your country and bring it here. The only way to avoid it, open the factory here, make the product and sell it here. You'll avoid the tariff. Now, the question of tariffs is kind of up in the air now, but nonetheless, a lot of these countries have made the decision to make investments here. So with the new tax law and with foreign investment, I expect, excluding the effect of this Iran war, I expect economic growth this year to be over 4%. And that's a number we haven't seen in a long time. 2021, during the recovery, we saw that. But under normal times, we haven't seen a number that good. What I can't fully figure out yet, so I don't know how long this is going to last, is what the negative impact of the Iran war will be.
Boy, that's quite a statement. We had 4% in spite of the war. So is there a red line, Professor? In other words, if the war drags on too long and the gas prices stay too high, at what point does that become danger with inflation?
Let's just say the longer it stays there, the better. The administration has said that this war should only last 4 to 6 weeks. We're, I believe, into our third week. If that happens, and if he gets Iran to unconditionally surrender, and if we've taken Iran out as a threat, as a terroristic threat to that part of the world and really all of the world, if we can do that in that 4 to 6 weeks, the impact, the negative impact from the high oil prices will only be for a month or two. I don't think they'll have that much of a negative impact, especially if we can see much lower oil prices after the war. Now, if it drags out more than 4 to 6 weeks, you're looking at some longer term impacts that are negative on the economy in terms of higher inflation and slower economic growth. Yeah. So the bottom line, if he gets it through in the 4 to 6 weeks, he said, I think we're okay. I believe if it stretches on past the 6 weeks, it's going to have a longer term negative impact on the economy.
All right, good stuff. Let me take a break. I have a lot of questions now concerning AI. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out the professor's website. It's muckrack.com/Michael Busler. There's a picture of the landing page, a lot of information there. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with Professor Busler in just a moment.
Put your gold in an envelope, mail it. Hopefully you get a check. No. Father and son jewelry, bring your gold in, we weigh it, we check it, we make you the offer.
Or turn your something old into something new. Whether it's an idea, a picture, or a piece you want to duplicate, we can melt it down and make it for you.
If you find your perfect piece in store, trade your something old for something new, and you always get a little extra.
Visit Father and Son Jewelry, 5 generations of family in Medford.
Finding that next great series to binge watch is fun, but your neck, shoulders, and body don't count that as me time. Hi, I'm Tamara Miller, owner of Organic Element Spa, and I invite you to put down the remote, get off the couch, and schedule yourself some real me or we time with your favorite service, like one of our many massages, couples massages, or facials. Your health, safety, and comfort are always top priority with us at Organic Element Spa. We can't wait to see you. Book your appointment today.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why McKelly's is automotive service with a heart for God and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond. But that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
Okay, welcome back. Always an honor to have with us Professor Michael Busler. He's a public policy expert, and he's also the professor of finance there at Stockton University in New Jersey. His website is muckrack.com/Michael Busler. One more quick question, Professor, before I move on to AI. I guess this is kind of big picture, leaning on your overall worldview of public policy. If this war is completed in 4 to 6 weeks, and it seems like we're just about there, what does it say about the war that's been going on 2 to 3 years between Russia and Ukraine?
So one thing it does say is Russia doesn't have near the military power that the U.S. has. Israel and the U.S. Fought a war against Iran back in June, lasted 12 days. This war, which President Trump says we're going to wipe out their nuclear program completely. We're going to wipe out all of their ballistic missiles and their launch pads, so they won't be able to shoot them anymore. We're going to wipe out their facilities to produce drones and try to wipe out as many as possible. Now, the drones are in tunnels under the ground, so a little hard to get to, but we'll try to wipe that out. We're probably going to end up with regime change since we really killed most of the top leaders. So what it says to the world is the U.S. is by far the most powerful country in the world, and when we have the most powerful military, and we can pretty much do what has to be done in a relatively short period of time. Fortunately for the world, the U.S. is not aggressive in terms of trying to acquire property. The only aggression the U.S. has taken is in countries where a dictator rules and the people do not have their freedom. So we took Maduro out of Venezuela. Probably in about 4, 5, 6 months, they'll have elections and elect somebody who will be more of a democratic society and with more freedom. Cuba, the regime there is just about to fall. They're economically collapsing. So that will probably bring more of a democratic society to Cuba. Now we have Iran, who had terrorized the Middle East and much of the world. And in a matter of probably 4 to 6 weeks, we'll have completely neutralized them and hopefully get into a new regime. So what it says is the American military is powerful enough to make these changes and defend where we need to defend. Russia, who was thought to be a superpower, taking 4 years, and they can't defeat Ukraine, who is far from a superpower. So I think there'll be more respect for the U.S. military as time goes on. The theory is peace through strength. And in fact, the stronger your military is, the less likely you'll end up having to use it. So the stronger you are, the less likely you'll have to use it. Why? because potential adversaries will realize how strong the U.S. is. And if they try to do anything and the U.S. goes against them, they can get completely wiped out, in a matter of weeks or even days. We come out of this much better. I think Russia and China look very weak after this.
Do you expect military spending to go up after this? Because after all, our stockpiles have been depleted, not completely, but I mean, they've been reduced.
They're low.
And they have to be replaced, and that means we got to spend more money for defense. You see that coming?
Yes. Now, Trump, even before he did this, he wanted the defense budget increased. I think he wanted to spend 1.5 trillion over so many years. So we're going to have to spend more to replenish the military. The problem is we have a huge deficit every year and a monstrous public debt, and we simply cannot continue to spend money that we don't have. So if we're going to spend this money, you should try to see, could it come out of somewhere else? In other words, is there the areas like waste, fraud, and abuse? The current administration is finding billions of dollars in abuse. There was in Minnesota. There's some in California. They're looking into Maine. And they're looking at billions, perhaps even hundreds of billions of dollars worth of waste, fraud, and abuse. If they can eliminate that, that will pay for the military buildup without having any negative impact on the budget.
In the meantime, as you mentioned, the president has really used tariffs in an interesting way to bring a lot of companies back to the United States and foreign investment into the United States, primarily with the understanding that AI is now upon us and does provide unbelievable potential, but maybe creating millions of jobs while at the same time increasing unemployment. How do you balance that?
So we're going through a disruption in the labor market, and that's happened before, way back in the Industrial Revolution, when the computer came in, when the internet came in. There's disruption in how things are done. When you have these kinds of disruptions, there's a lot of job displacement. So people who are in kind of routine jobs, working on an assembly line in a factory, even a data entry kind of clerk, drivers of trucks, AI will end up taking a lot of those jobs, and you'll see a little push up in unemployment as a result of that. However, AI will eventually add significantly more jobs. It will make every worker more productive. And when workers are more productive and more efficient, they can produce more goods at a lower price. That tends to be very good for the economy. Also, there are applications of artificial intelligence we haven't even thought of yet. So as that happens, I believe it will lead to very strong economic growth as we implement this, and people can start to do a lot more. In the long run, I think it's positive. In 2020, the World Economic Forum did a study, and they said before the end of the 2020s, AI will probably have displaced about 80 million workers worldwide, but it will have added 97 million jobs worldwide. Now, I'm not sure about those numbers. This is a reputable source where this study came from, but the point is they believe in the long run AI will add more jobs than it will lose. So there'll be a shift in how we do things. I tell my students, get the best education you can, get as well prepared as you can. So when these AI opportunities are available, you'll be able to take advantage of them. Where we're going to have a problem is somebody, middle-aged people, they've been doing factory work or driving a truck or data entry work, for 15, 20, 30 years. They're now in their 40s and 50s. Those people will have to be retrained. At that age, though, it's very difficult to retrain people. I think it's important that either the government or through some public-private partnerships, we set up some education facilities so anybody who is displaced by AI will have an opportunity to get an education and learn how to do something else. The middle-aged people, that's going to be a little tougher on, but I think that's something that has to happen.
I saw in a video where the president of Google, this was maybe quite a while ago, basically saying to the crowd that if you are currently enrolled in getting your degree in computer software development, stop. Don't go there, because AI will replace that and you need to concentrate on something else. That's pretty significant, don't you think?
Yeah, so AI will now write the programs. You know, I had a funny incident the other day. I was teaching my MBA finance class, and I was showing students how to calculate bond yields and things. And I said, look, we don't have to go through formulas. We can use Excel to do this. So I put up on the screen, here's how we do it in Excel. You go here, you do this, and you have it. I was looking over, and one of my top students wasn't paying attention. And I looked over and I said, listen, I'm trying to teach you how to do this. So, you know, when you go out in the real world, you have to calculate this. You have Excel, you know how to do it. And he said to me, why are you teaching me to do this? I said, well, you have to learn how to do it. You know, out in the real world, someone's going to ask you to calculate a bond yield, or, you know, yield to maturity, you know, something. He said, yeah, but I'll just use AI and Excel and they'll do it for me. I didn't really have an answer back to that. So AI will displace, and it will cause a lot of differences in how we do things. I do believe in the long run it will be positive. And I said to my student, even if AI is going to do this for you, you should still understand what's being done, because AI is not going to be exactly right every time. It should be eventually as we use it more. But when you're asking for some calculations and some things and looking at some past data, it might not be perfect every time. Yeah. And even if you get an answer from them, you need to verify that's the correct answer. So you should know how to do this. The point is, the younger generation is questioning whether they should do all this kind of thing, right, because AI is going to be there and it'll do it for them.
One quick question. I got about a minute left. The president is concentrated in making America AI first, so to speak. In other words, in the industry. I would assume that's a good thing.
Very important. AI is very powerful. We don't even know everything it can do. They're using it in the war right now, and they're launching missiles and things with pinpoint accuracy. So AI can do a lot of these things, and you know, it's beneficial for people to understand that, and that AI will be a big part of the future, and we have to learn to work with it instead of trying to fight against it.
You're fascinating. Always value your time. Thank you, Professor. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out his website, muckrack.com/Michael Busler. There's a picture of the landing page. Look forward to a lot of visits. Hopefully we can get these oil prices down.
Soon. I hope next time we meet, this Iran conflict is over and oil prices have plummeted.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Thank you, Professor. Have a great day, friend.
Thank you, Patrick. Take care.
Okay.
Looking for the perfect RV adventure?
Team Toner's got you covered, from homes to homes on wheels.
Discover unbeatable deals only at American RV in Southern Oregon.